I'll make you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I am your whimsical DM, Victoria. Before we jump into our game this evening, we have a couple announcements to share with you. Kristy, roll the mother heckin' clip.
Welcome to the show. And now a word from our sponsors. First off, thanks to Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon Corp is a Canadian-based dice company that supplies all kinds of cool tabletop gear. Check them out on their Twitter at Little Dragon Co. 1 to stay updated on all their awesome products. Remember, you can use our brand new coupon code BONUS when you head over to littledragoncorp.com and get 15% off your order. Once again, the coupon code is BONUS, BONUS. Also thanks to Cardboard Castle Games. They are a lovely little brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. Remember to go check them out if you're in the area. Stop by and tell them that Proficiency Bonus sent you, and they might just give you 10% off your in-store order. If you're not in Evans, Georgia, don't fret. You can check them out online at their website, cardboardcastlegames.com. Also, big thanks to Sirenscape for the amazing atmospheric sounds and music. You can add these sounds and more to your game when you download the Sirenscape desktop or mobile app. The app is free and comes with 20 sound sets that are included when you get started. You don't even need to register. Go to Sirenscape.com to find out more. Additional thanks as well to Adrian Von Ziegler for providing some of the additional music we use here and on Wednesday nights. He's a talented composer with great content usage rules, so go check out his YouTube and Patreon and support him if you can. Don't forget to check out our other games. Our schedule is posted down below the Twitch feed. We stream basically every day here at Provo. We have games for several of the major published 5e modules, as well as some homebrew games, and some of our other games feature systems other than 5e, like Star Wars, Power Rangers, and Alien. Hopefully, we have something up your alley. We now have a community Discord with public channels. Please come check it out and come hang out with us. We are always welcoming new GMs, players, and other friends to our family. All experience levels are welcome, from veteran gamers to total newbies. We encourage people of color, LGBTQI+ nerds, and gamers to join us as well. I think that's everything. Back to you, DM.
And we're back. Thanks, Kristy, for those announcements. You can have a bardic inspiration for that.
Thanks.
Anyway, tents and recaps as well. Why don't we give the lovely folks watching a refresher on the things that have transpired recently in this game? Ink, if you wouldn't mind.
I definitely remember. The party was investigating this strange tower in this swamp within the Feywild to which we have found ourselves. We had just ended a combat with a shadowy dog kind of creature, but we did not destroy it. We went with the gamble that this could possibly be the dog that we had seen in the paintings here that had possibly been transformed in some way, leaving Mr. Stump, who seemed to kind of maybe recognize the creature, to keep it calm while the rest of the party investigated the higher parts of the tower. Upon reaching the upper parts of the tower, they encountered two very interesting individuals. One, a sort of bug-like humanoid creature, and the other, a tiny pseudo-dragon knight with a glorious bit of facial hair who was trapped inside of a cage. The party then engaged with this bug monster in the upper levels of the tower, and it would seem, perhaps, that much like the dog below, this could also have been the original owner or occupant of the tower, that has possibly befallen some type of curse. Just prior, the party had found notes left detailing the work on several wells in the surrounding area and how they were starting to become under disrepair and being tampered with in some way, and that the man had gone to go speak with the local powerful fae to see if this could be resolved. So, 2 and 2 starting to be put together. Very possibly this man has been cursed for getting on the wrong side of one of the fairies. But right now, he is unconscious on the ground, there is a fine gentleman in need of aid in a cage, and the party is left wondering what exactly to do.
Thank you, Ink, for that lovely recap. You may also have a bardic inspiration for doing this. Yeah, so what are you saying? Kristy, no! If you need to take a minute, Kristy, you're all good. As we left off, you all had just knocked unconscious the bulbous, spidery humanoid form of an individual at the top of this tower, and your friend Clover was holding a cage containing one lovely, dapper little fairy dragon. Mr. Stump, you are back down on the second floor with the dog that everybody is fairly confident is Wover, as when one of your new friends, Ego, put on a disguise to look like Elmer, who is depicted in various paintings all across this room, was able to calm this shadowy dog. And so you kind of have the dog underneath your roots, and you are scratching it behind its ears in the spot that you know Wover loves, and the dog is like shaking its little foot on the ground, and is very calm. But you, with your tree, you feel like reverberations. You don't really hear, but you feel reverberations in the tower of like a ruckus happening above you. So you can do with that as you will, but you've got the dog's chilling. For the party, what's the vibe? There's a purple thing on the ground in front of you.
What now? This whole time, I've just been sort of winging it. So I turn to the people who are better at this than I am, and I ask, what the fuck do we do now?
I fear perhaps maybe the occupants of this tower have been transmogrified in some manner.
Can you say that again in English, please? Common.
I think that's Elmer.
He did screech at us to get out of his tower.
Yes. I think he should probably be subdued. If he's alive.
Is he alive?
I mean,
You ask, do you like go over to check?
Dove's actually right there, up with him.
Yeah.
So
Roll a medicine check.
I'll check. Okay, medicine. Pretty okay at that.
Wow, that's a good roll.
Nice. 20. Dirty.
Yeah, so you can see the chest of this creature is rising and falling with breath, but you do notice that on top of its like head, which like there isn't like a proper neck, it's just sort of like this like barrel-chested being with like a head that kind of like comes like up and is like hunched over. But on top of this creature's head there is a big welt forming from where I believe Ego hit him with a sling, with like a little rock in the sling. And then you also noticed that Dove, as you were the one who knocked him unconscious, and you used your primal savagery to do so, which is acid damage, you can see that there is like a big claw mark like over his face. That the claw mark itself is not that deep, but the acid like from the claws has spread over his skin and has like melted the skin, and he's looking kind of horribly disfigured.
He's looking kind of horribly disfigured.
No.
He is breathing.
Sorry about that, dude. I'm just gonna pat him on the head and be like, sorry about that. We're trying to kill us, so no.
He is unconscious.
Does anyone have any rope? Look around. Everyone.
I have some rope.
Perfect.
Pull it out.
You tie a good knot.
Yep.
Tie an okay knot. Oh yeah, you set up tents. Cool. That makes sense, Clover. Maybe you should tie the knot.
Okay. Where am I tying it?
Around.
He has like little carapace legs, right?
Oh.
It has like humanoid-ish like arms and legs. But they each of them, his like hands and feet, instead of ending in fingers, end in two like long black claws, and like his body has like little like lumps all over it that you can see are actually like leaking a little bit of like webbing. Like he can just kind of shoot webbing out of his body in various points.
Maybe, I don't know, everyone not to be, I mean, completely unsexual. Should we tie him to the bed?
You didn't have to preface
Just-
that with non-sexual.
No, I've never tied anyone up before, so I'm just trying to clear all my bases, just be completely...
I promise you, no one would have thought of it like that until you said it, and now we're all thinking it.
I'm not.
I didn't ask you.
Well, see, maybe, now I know. Maybe I just won't do that. As long as it was good.
Yep.
I'm gonna help Clover. I'm just gonna...
I'm just
help
tying
Clover.
his arms and legs. That's all I'm doing.
Hey. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was just because I feel like he might say something soon. I do want to look at / approach the little gentleman in the cage.
Yeah.
While they
So,
do that.
Clover, you can roll a sleight of hand check to just make sure you can tie a good knot.
Okay.
Can I help
Yeah, you can. So you can do that with advantage. For Ego, approaching the little man in the cage, who is nearby to the bed tying situation, as Clover had been holding the cage and had to put him down to tie up this other individual. Yeah, you see this little like purple fairy dragon form. He has a teeny tiny like 2 inches long for his teeny tiny little body, leather belt with a teeny tiny little like frog that holds his sword in it, and he has like metal, like the teeny tiniest little metal gauntlets on. But that's it in terms of like clothing, and he has like a little mustache and goatee.
Oh, so cute.
Hello there,
Hello.
Sir Talavar, at your service. And he does a little bow in his cage.
Hi.
And you are?
People can call me Ego.
Ah, Ego, it is a pleasure to meet you, despite the unfortunate circumstances that I find myself in. And gestures around to the little cage.
Indeed.
Was there something? Are you going to get me out of here? Can you do
want me
that?
to get you out of there?
Oh yes, very much so. I did not choose to be put into this cage.
I see. I can get you out of there, I think.
Well, we don't have all day.
I do.
I would very much... that's wonderful for you. I would very much like to try to find a way back to my patron, my mistress, the light of my life, the queen of the summer court. So if you wouldn't mind making a bit of haste, that would be deeply appreciated on my behalf.
What were you doing out here?
Or out here, you... Oh, you mean in Prismia or in the cage?
Yes.
All right, yes, fair enough. Well, before I was put into this cage, I was an emissary of Titania, the summer queen in all of her radiance. And I traveled to Prismia because I was to ask Zybilna to ally herself with the Sealy Court in an ongoing war against the Fomorians, the dark, wretched, twisted creatures. If you ever find yourself face to face with one and you cannot fight, run. Anyway, I had traveled long and far across many domains of delight throughout the Feywild, fighting terrible beasts and engaging in glorious conquests on behalf of Titania. When I found, upon entering Prismia, that it had been seized by hags of the Hourglass Coven, no less. Terrible, terrible business.
1 second. So he's in it's like kind of like a bird cage, right? It's like a little like dome.
Yeah, it's like an ornate silver bird cage.
Am I able to pick the whole cage up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick the whole cage up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it had fallen over. And
Yeah.
I'm going to walk this fine knight more to the center of the room, but I'm going to continue holding him up for my party and be like, could you please say at least the last third of that again to my companions, please? Starting with the war.
Oh, right, yes. So, the Summer Court often finds itself, in direct conflict with Fomorians, and so the great and noble Splendiference Titania, Queen of the Summer Court, had tasked me, her most noble and loyal knight, Sir Talavar, with, recruiting allies specifically from Zybilna of Prismia. Although she is not allied with the Seelie or Unseelie Fae, she is quite powerful in her own right, and presides over her own quite large domain of delight. And so, I had come here seeking her assistance in this war. Unfortunately, upon arrival, I had realized that her domain of delight, Prismia, had been usurped, taken over, seized, if you will, by 3 hags. They are known to be members of the Hourglass Coven. Very unpleasant individuals.
Just for clarity's sake, friend, what was your name again?
My name is Sir Talavar, Knight of the Summer Court, Slayer of Fomorians, Keeper of the Golden Heart of Titania the Summer Queen, her magnificence, her radiance, her splendiference, her glory ship.
Oh, it's very important. Again, just for clarity, you know the names of those 3 hags in that coven?
Oh, the names of the hags of the Hourglass Coven. Yes, I do.
What are their names?
Well, the one that I encountered myself is Bavlorna Blightstraw. That's about as far as I got.
Okay.
But the other 2 are Scabatha Nightshade and, I want to say, the youngest sister is Endlin Moongrave?
Look at the rest of our crew and just kind of am like, just wanted to make sure.
Yes. Quite unpleasant. I do not recommend facing them unless you are stout of heart and strong of arm. Or wing. And he flaps one of his little wings in the cage.
But we kind of have to, don't we? They kind of took shit from us.
What do you mean?
We're not from here.
You're not?
Well, we're from hither and thither, but...
Pretty sure I have some cousins.
I think this would be a great time for me to wander up the stairs holding the puppy in my hands.
Perfect timing, I think.
Scratching him.
He's asleep and he's letting you hold him like a little baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mr. Stump.
Hey guys, I got him to go to sleep, I guess. Such a nice little champ.
So, it is Elmer's companion?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I could see it in his eyes.
Do you recognize those eyes? And I point at the bug that's strapped down to the bed non-sexually.
Whoa,
Like,
hey.
pull an
Thank you
eyelid
for
on him.
clarifying, because I was going to say something. It looks kind of suspicious in here. I think the hat looks familiar.
Oh my.
Is this Mr. Elmer?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna go like scratch him on the belly because I think that works.
You got
Because it
player
works with the dog.
inspiration, Jamie. I think you can probably guess who it's from.
Yay! Thanks, Derek.
My companions, I think what has happened here is Mr. Elmer had gone to speak with Bev Lorna, who is a member of one of this Hourglass Coven, and wound up getting himself in some manner cursed,
Oh,
and
no.
possibly his companion as well.
And the area, right? Because the brambles.
Oh, the stinking brambles. I'm so glad they're dead.
Bev Lorna was messing with something called the O-Wells, possibly, and that could have been starting to affect this entire area. Yes. But this individual, this Sir Talavar, hello, Sir Talavar,
Hello.
would like us to free him.
That
and I
would
think
be
that
quite
he's-
wonderful. Yes.
I think that he's given us a lot of information. So should
Seems
we let him
Trustworthy?
out?
I would like to try to get him out of there if we can.
Do you know where this Babylona person is?
Where Bavlorna is, yes, I in fact do. She resides in her hut. Hidden amongst the bullywug courts of Downfall.
Okay.
The reports of downfall sounds interesting.
Oh, yes, their politics
Sounds
are quite...
scary.
They have very intricate and lethal politics happening there. In fact, I believe they just named a new king, although I cannot quite recall the name of their regent. In fact, at this point, there could be another regent. But yes, she resides there in a hut in the mists. I had gone to... Well, I had kind of found myself there, thinking perhaps I would find Zybilna, but then she trapped me in a birdcage. Not all the bullywugs are treacherous, though. They just have lofty goals for themselves. Unfortunately, my noble companion Wigglewog, who felt a tinge of sympathy when she saw my predicament, she passed after rescuing me from Bavlona's grasp.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Yes, we were attacked by a malicious wind.
malicious wind.
That just happens, you know. Sometimes the wind doesn't want you to always fly on it unless you ask nicely, and we were in such a rush, and I think Wigglewog perhaps forgot to ask, and then we crashed into the tower, and now here I am.
We saw the balloon crash when we arrived here, and it's what drew us to this tower.
Oh, it was terrible. Awful business. Wigglewog, you died noble, truly, an honorary knight of Titania.
Well, I don't really know how noble that is. You didn't even ask the wind for consent, and that's kind of an issue, so that wasn't very noble.
Well, Wigglewog was trying her best to save me.
Saving or no saving, it's still important to ask. I would kill you too if you came into my home without asking me.
Mr. Stump,
Well,
You-
I'm just being honest. It's like the brambles all over again.
We simply meant to pass by and head back to the summer court. Surely the wind could have been persuaded to look the other way, but it was quite ornery and took
Is
down
that-
our balloon.
is that what you're going to do after you're freed? You're going to continue to go back to the summer court?
Yes, certainly I must deliver this news to my lady at once that Prismia has fallen.
Might I ask if you have a plan on how to do that?
No, I do not.
Did Is there a key to this cage?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Clover was gonna try and get him out, so.
Probably. Is there a lock? He's
look.
trying to like look and see.
I'm also
There's a lock. There's like a big ornate lock on the
Yeah.
front.
There's a lock.
Then there's probably a key.
Do you think the bullywug? Wallywug?
Wigglewog.
Wigglewog had...
Wigglewog had the
Wigglewog-
key.
If Wigglewog had the key, Wigglewog probably would have freed me from the cage. I'll be honest, I don't know where the key is.
Does anyone know how to
Interesting.
break locks?
That'd be a sleight of hand.
I could try with my dagger, but I don't have, like, thieves' tools. Out of
You know,
character.
they
Don't
say
try that.
nature breaks everything over time. I could probably do it if you
I
gave
mean,
me a
other
few
than-
years.
Other than smashing the cage, no.
I mean, several of you, all of you, are very strong. I'm sure someone could bend the bars. Maybe. Or I could melt it.
I will
I could definitely
try.
try.
Yeah, how about I'm gonna try to, like, stick the dagger in there. I don't expect this to work, but she's gonna try and, like, finagle the lock. Maybe it's a very basic lock.
Okay.
If not, they can, like, try and destroy this cage without killing this man.
Okay, so if you're gonna do this dagger trick, do you have proficiency with thieves' tools at all? I'm guessing not, since you
No.
don't have them.
No.
So what I want you to do is you're gonna roll a d20.
Okay.
You are not proficient. You're just gonna add your dexterity modifier, and this is at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, totally. That's when the dice tell the story. It's a 3 and a 2 plus 3.
Yeah, you just kind of like shove the dagger in and like move it around a little bit. No dice.
Nope. Okay, someone stronger probably has to do it because I don't got anything else.
An idea. I
It's a tricky lock.
bink out one claw of savagery. Can I just bink one claw out and pick at the lock bar on the lock to try to acid it away?
You can roll an attack roll.
Yeah, that's what
I
I was
really
gonna do.
hope
I was
I-
gonna just use my acid damage, so.
Oh, what was that?
Also going to cast acid. What was it? 16?
So you take your claw and you try to drag it against one of the bars, and you hear this like horrible high-pitched screeching noise, and you actually feel like your elongated nail snaps.
Ooh.
Hmm.
And the acid just slips off of the bars of the cage, and they are unmarred.
That
It's a
was
magical cage.
It's
Oh,
a
no.
magic cage.
Oh no.
Sir Talavar, I think that you've found yourself in a magical cage.
Predicament.
That is quite a predicament. You know, in all of my years in the great fights against the Catoblepus of the Wandering Plains, the great battle of the Jub Bird, I can say this is the most pickliest of pickles I've ever been in.
Are you the pickle in this scenario, like the jar?
Yes, yes. The most difficult pickle jar to open.
I've never been able to open a pickle jar on my own.
Neither have I. They're much too large.
How? Just twist it.
Well, go right ahead. And he gestures to the cage around him.
They just
Yeah,
said
go
it was
for
a
it.
magic cage. I
Exactly.
can't.
I'm sorry.
talking
I'm really
about
bad
normal-
at paying attention. Who did you say put you in this cage?
Oh, it was Bavlorna Blightstraw.
Oh, okay. All
The
right.
same,
Yes.
the same one who might have been responsible for what happened to
Yes.
Elmer, Mr. Stump.
Oh,
Yes, Bavlorna lives in Downfall amongst the Bullywug courts. They are. Please don't take my assessment of them the wrong way. They are quite. They are largely courteous, assuming you follow their rules. You just can't. If you offend them and break the laws of their court, you might lose your head.
Does that mean that most likely Bavlorna has
Has
the
the
key?
key? Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I think so.
You could ask the Watcher, or you could just go to face her yourself. But if you can't open the cage, I think you'll find you probably can't get the key from Bavlorna.
So what do you think that we should do? We have business with Bavlorna, but it sounds like everyone that has tried to deal with her has found some manner of misfortune. And you
yes.
serve Lady Titania.
Lady Titania, Queen of the Summer Court, the resplendent, splendiferous, shining beacon of the Seelie Fae.
All right. Yes, she's very splendiferous. But what were you planning to do when you met Bavlorna?
Well, you see, I had found myself there simply seeking out Zybilna. In fact, the Hourglass Coven used to work for Zybilna. And so I had been seeking out Bavlorna to try to ask where her mistress was, and, well, kind of got put into a cage, before I realized what was going on.
So you haven't seen Zybilna at all. She is usurped and missing.
One could only assume.
Well, I don't think that we can get you out of this cage immediately, Sir Talavar. I suppose we could take you with us until we either find the key, or maybe we could take you back to Titania and she could get you out of there.
If you could find your way to the Summer Court, that would be lovely. But I also don't mind tagging along. You all seem like an interesting lot. Even if you're not quite powerful enough to break me out, I'm sure you'll find the way. There is, as I mentioned, you could ask the Watcher. The Watcher sees and knows all.
Where's
the Watcher? Probably knows where the key is.
Yes, so what they said.
What did they say?
Where's the Watcher?
Where
do we find the Watcher?
Oh, the Watcher, Well, if you think about northeast for long enough, and you find yourself at a pool, you could meet a serpent with the head of a moose. And that's the Watcher.
Oh.
All right.
Think about northeast. You come on a pool, and then you meet you meet a what with the head of a moose?
A giant serpent with the head of a moose, yes.
Oh.
Or is it a moose with the body of a serpent? Does anyone know?
I think it's a serpent with the body of a moose. I wonder. That's a good question, though.
Does it depend on the moose to serpent ratio?
It is. The ratio is mostly serpent with a little bit of moose.
Ratio is one way, or, you go by whatever the head is the dominant, and then the rest is the rest. But that is neither here nor there. I'm going to put you down for now.
Hey.
I'm going to put the cage down in the middle of the room, so if someone wants to hold him, they can.
Yeah, I would pick it up, because I wanted to inspect the cage, see if there's any, instructions on it, or, runes, or, something to indicate what type of magic it is.
Smart.
Okay, do you have Detect Magic?
You do, right?
I do, but I don't have spells unless I take a short rest.
Okay, so...
You could ritual cast it.
Can you?
So I would say if it has the ritual tag, yeah. If you have Detect Magic, you will be able, and you can cast it. You'll be able to figure out what's going on. But just looking at it,
there's nothing.
You can't look at it and tell what the magic is. You can just tell that it is likely magical with how difficult it's been to break.
It's at will, so I can just do it.
I think you might have an invocation that gives you that.
Yeah, I can cast it at will.
think. Yeah, you can just keep doing it.
Oh shit! Okay, then I'll just cast it.
Yeah, let me double check.
I was gonna say, otherwise I have Identify, if
That might
we
be
wanted
better.
to look a bit closer. But
That might be
I
better.
also
Oh.
I can
want
at
to
least.
spend some time.
Oh yeah,
checking
you have
out the
Eldritch
blue.
Sight. You can literally just cast detect magic at will
Okay,
without
yeah.
without spell
So
slots.
cool.
So what does that look like when you do that?
I believe I've done this before. But
I
it's
think it's
basically
like you get cat eyes,
I
right?
get cat eyes.
I get like the reflective glow when you shine a flashlight in your cat's eyes. That's what her eyes turn.
Yeah, so you
I need
cast
Pearl
this.
for identify.
Oh.
Yeah, you cast this spell, and you can see that there is a very bright blue glow around this cage. And you would know that the color of this glow indicates that it is imbued with abjuration magic.
abjuration. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell the group what I'm seeing on it.
Does it seem like strong? Like, is it a strong aura or like a faint aura?
Let me check something. I would say it's at least within your arcane capacities, it's probably like at the higher end
At the
of
higher
power
end. Okay.
that you're familiar with.
Okay.
It's not so powerful that it's like nothing you've ever seen before, but
Right.
it's like definitely would tax your abilities.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell the group that.
I
It's tricky.
I want to just try and survey the damage to the balloon to see if it's worth possibly being able to repair it.
Okay, you have to open the window for that, and like basically lean out.
Yeah, are they like push out windows?
It's like shutters.
Yeah, I'll push those out gently
Okay.
and kind of, Ego puts their like hands on the windowsill and kind of like tries to lean out and see what state the balloon is in, because it looks like it deflated, of course. So there
Yeah,
might
the balloon
be like
is
a
like
puncture or a
the balloon
rip.
is like draped over the top of the tower, and then the basket is hanging right near this like shuttered window. So in order to are you trying to survey the balloon or the basket?
Well, I would probably need to step onto the basket to look at the balloon, so why don't we start by looking at the basket? Seeing if there's any supplies in there, if it's damaged, kind of like get a look around on the basket.
Okay. Yeah, so roll an investigation check.
Okay. 21.
Okay. So, most notably, you can see that there is a corpse of a humanoid toad individual in the basket. And you can see that there is like basically like a little leather messenger bag that is kind of like strung around one of their arms, and then fallen in the corner of the basket that is like down leaning at an angle. You can see that there is like a small like supply chest, like a leather bound chest sort of thing.
Are both of those items within my reach without having to get into the basket?
No, you would have to get into the basket. The basket itself is like depth-wise like 4 feet from the top all the way down to the bottom of it. So in order to get to the bottom where those things are resting, you'd have to get in or like be held and reach down or somehow overcome that.
Ego's just a very thinks about it, does it kind of person anyway. So I will kind of crawl onto the windowsill and do the sort of like testing the pool water thing and kind of like put a foot down in the basket. And then like while I'm holding on to the windowsill, like put more and more to see if I can stand in there.
Yeah, so you tap it with your foot and you feel like a little bit of give. And you then put your foot fully on it and then begin to lower your weight, and you hear a tearing above you.
I would like to climb back into the window.
Okay, you may. The balloon and basket is there swinging gently in the breeze.
Clover,
Yeah.
it looks like there's some things still in the basket. There is Sir Talivar's companion.
Hmm.
But I think that it's going to rip and fall if I climb in there.
Okay. Should I bring the body inside, maybe? At the very least?
Maybe. She has a satchel, and then there's also at the corner looks like some sort of chest.
Okay.
Sir Wigglewog, she does deserve a proper burial, one worthy of the most noble of knights.
Okay, I will...
I will start with the body.
Okay.
And I will get, I guess, Ego or someone to stand at like the window. So like when I'm flying, obviously, and when I lift to like hand her, like
It probably shouldn't be Ego. I will say that. Perhaps maybe someone that doesn't have -2 strength.
Mr. Stump, you're strong, right?
Yeah,
Or
I'm pretty
Mr.
strong.
Stump and
Yeah.
Dawn are pretty strong. Yeah.
Yeah, Dawn too.
Okay. So you fly out, you see this froggy individual there. Look like they were probably about 4 feet tall standing. And you go to pick them up. Just roll me a general strength check.
Okay, not bad. What's my negative? 15 minus 1, 14.
Okay. Luckily, because you have people helping you, you are not at disadvantage. So you, your little wings are like beating overtime and like making a buzzing noise as you like lift this person up underneath their arms, and you can't fully like lift them. They're like
I'm trying to like just
You're
get them
very
in their like
yeah,
grasping
you're
range.
like you're very small, and it's impossible to fly and carry something
Yeah.
heavy, but you are able to like exert yourself enough that you can like lift them and drag the body close enough that Mr. Stump and Don, if he wants to help as well, can drag the body in. And the satchel like falls off of their arm that's starting to like go stiff.
Okay, I will take the satchel and I will probably also grab the box and hand that to Ego once the other boys and the body's out of the way. I'll hand those to Ego, and then I'll try and like look and see like where the tearing is happening, see if I can like lift it off the tower, like get it untangled while they're doing whatever they're doing.
Roll me a general intelligence check.
Okay.
Ego was handed the chest and is just like standing there with the chest.
It's like about, I want to say it's like 1.5 to 2 feet long, by like maybe a foot in depth.
Okay.
It's like a foot locker almost.
General
Intelligence, yes.
is 16 plus 1, 17.
Okay, as you float up and like are looking at this balloon that is draped over the tower, it's massive.
Okay.
Probably
and heavy.
The cloth, yes. As you go to like take a look at it, you can tell that the cloth has a bit of a stretch to it. But as you're looking at it, you see that there's like some little parts of it that have like different colored fabric, like strips over them, and you notice like a black, like brownish black glaze over those little spots. And usually you only see those little patches that are no more than like 1 foot square pieces.
Okay.
Maybe 2 foot square.
These are patchworks.
Yeah, and at first when you go to like lift up the cloth, it doesn't feel like it's very heavy.
No,
like, it's not like a heavy like tarp cloth. But as you begin to lift it up more and more, it's pretty much impossible for you to like lift it fully to uncover the point. But you can see as you lift it to what your ability is, there's a massive tear. Like 5 feet long.
Ooh.
At least.
Okay.
And it's like jagged and like gnarled. It's like bad.
So it's not even worth untangling at this point.
Whether or not it's worth it to you is I cannot say, but it's a large tear.
I don't think I would be able to do it by myself. So I'll go in and let Ego know what I saw, and it's way too heavy for me to untangle by myself.
Alright. Well, Sir Talavar, it seems like you might be without your balloon, at least also for the time being. Do you by chance know what's in this chest? Or can we look?
Well, the chest probably has repair supplies for the balloon. They tend to do little patch jobs as needed. As far as the satchel, it's not very knightly to rifle through the corpses of the dead. I would prefer not to see that.
I will turn him around.
You take the cage and turn it.
Dear, if you may, the quilt on the bed, just...
Oh, okay.
Just...
Yeah, there you go.
There are no, unchivalrous actions occurring in this...
You do not perceive it.
And then you cover... I do not perceive any breaking of my chivalrous oaths occurring before me. I am a knight of the Senate Court. And you just hear him, he's, just saying, these statements
I just
about,
look at Ego
chivalry.
because I know Ego's gonna open it. Yeah.
Okay, so you open the pouch.
After you blow it out this time, make sure you trim those wicks down a quarter of an inch.
Okay.
How long has it been burning?
You open the bag and you get a kiss on
You
the
open the
forehead
bag
and you
and
also
then
get
you-
mom advice.
And you hear your mom.
So cute. Oh my god. That was adorable as fuck.
At this, we'll take a quick pause. Don and Mr. Stump, what are you up to? There's a tied up purple insectoid creature on the bed,
Yeah,
not sexually.
Very important.
I want to see if he has anything on him of note.
Okay, he's not wearing, clothes.
Oh.
He's just, a spider thing.
He does.
Do you want to search the room instead?
It's his bedroom,
Yeah.
right? This is his
Yeah,
bedroom.
because, you can search him if you want, but then I feel like the whole he's tied up here definitely not sexually thing, it starts to get a little bit more
Yeah, that's
he's straight up naked.
That's exactly what goes through his head too. He's like, maybe I should. And
Sounds
then he sees him tied up on the bed, and he's like, no, I'm not.
I'm not touching
Not
that.
touching
No.
that. No.
Near that.
No.
But I will look
Well,
around the room.
So here, I'm gonna have you do roll me a quick perception check as you're near this guy that's tied up.
So disfigured.
I think 19 minus 2. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you are taking a quick look at him before your mind catches up with oh wait, I shouldn't pat this guy down. Nasty. And you do notice that he has those two claws on his hands, but you can see on the side of either of his little hands there is a cut on each side.
Huh.
And then you can roll me an investigation check to search the room.
Why did I put my dice away? 15.
15. Ooh. Stuff probably does fall down like that. But as you search, you kind of poke around, opening up little curio chests and little bags and boxes that he has around, and you find 6 malachite gems.
Mm.
Yeah, he holds them up and he looks around. He did remember Ego getting all up in arms about stealing from people.
Ego is currently looking through a chest.
Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on right now. He's like, Ego doesn't really like when you take things from people, but Ego's not looking.
Ego is not looking.
My suitcase is gone, so I'll just put them in my pocket.
Nice.
You can mark on your sheet that you have 6 malachite gems worth 10 gold pieces each.
Yay.
Bala.
Nice.
See?
Um,
Stealing is great.
Yeah, before we go back to the searching of the chest and the messenger bag, Dove, what have you been doing in this time?
Feel like Dove is gonna keep an eye on Mr. Former Tower Man and gonna just be keeping an eye on him, watching him. She just doesn't want anyone taken unawares if he was to wake up and maybe the rope did or did not hold. So she's just gonna watch him while everyone does their thing.
Okay. You are able to do that. I would say at this point, about 20 to 30 minutes have passed with all the time spent like searching and like investigating the balloon and talking to Talavar. You can see that he is twitching in his sleep a little bit, or in his like unconscious state. You think like it'll take a little bit more time, but he might wake up in a bit.
I'll give everyone just a little warning.
Okay.
I wake up soon. Just FYI. You guys know what we want to do with them?
Maybe Mr. Stump can talk him down? If he gets upset?
I could try. So I'm kind of stuck. You guys said you wanted to. Well, I guess the guy in the cage said he wanted to bury this dead person.
Yeah.
We're not really in the best place to bury people. We're in the middle of a swamp, and that's kind of like.
Where is there anywhere nearby that you know of that would be okay to do it?
I mean, there's my grotto, but I'm not.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. Yeah. That's fair.
It's not a graveyard. It's a grotto, you know. They
Yeah.
both start with G, but
They do.
Very different.
Very different, yeah.
I think we just leave the body here, personally. That's what's been on my mind. I could talk him down, though. I'm still holding the dog, by the way.
Leave the
You know
body
what?
in your friend's home,
Yeah, why not?
but you don't want it in your home?
Of course not.
Maybe we put them on the back of leaves and we go somewhere not so swampy. Maybe we fix this balloon.
The balloon's really heavy. I don't know if I can untangle it by myself.
If we work together, maybe we could repair the balloon, but then we need to decide where we're gonna go next.
How are we gonna get up there, though? If it was about to fall when you just tried to climb out.
How
pretty
high
light.
how high up is the roof?
Like 40 to 50 feet.
It's a little bit high.
We might just have to like let it rip and fall and then
Let
see
it
if we can
rip!
fix it.
Beyblade!
Let me see if our deceased knight has anything useful in this bag.
Victoria, may I do
Yes.
something that might be a little bit outside of her purview with Druidcraft?
What would you like to do?
I would like to take a page out of Callista's book because this is just what I do. I would like to start Druidcrafting little forget-me-nots and vines around the body for now.
Oh
since
yeah. Druidcraft, you can absolutely. I've done that on Tuesdays. You
Okay.
can do that. It will
take
you
me a time. But they're all doing
But
their
you
own
can-
stuff. But I think that's what Clover's going to be doing in the meantime while we're waiting and figuring things out. I think that's what Clover's going to start doing with the body because we can't bury it, but at least we can preserve it nicely.
Are you saying or doing anything else besides the Druidcraft? And the ink we will get to you just after this.
I don't have it like in my head, but she's probably doing like a little like quiet little prayer to like ease any suffering that they might have felt, and just do the vines and the flowers around the body, and just sit quietly while I do it.
Yeah, so while you do this, you begin to see like these tiny little like vines that slowly curl over the corpse of this individual with these tiny little flowers. I believe forget-me-nots are like white and sometimes blue.
They're usually blue and some
Like bluish.
blue, white, and purple are the colors.
Yeah, they begin to spring up, and you actually like notice after you say this little prayer and you open up your eyes that there's a spectral, barely visible, like little cat. And it's just like kneading in like little spots on the body, and it's like you think it's a trick of the light and you blink, and it's still there, and in that spot as it's like walking and like occasionally like licking the body, you see that like that's where the flowers are sprouting up.
When I see that, I think just instinctively she also starts to purr, seeing the kneading. So like the purring, like reverberations, like kind of goes out with the vines. Little extra comfort.
So Ink, what are you looking through first?
The satchel.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I need you to do a couple things for me. Number 1, I need you to roll me 2d12.
Those are d10s. Do you need the numbers separately or added together?
Actually, make it a d12 and a d10, and just tell me what each of them individually is.
Okay, then I'll take what the first number was on those d12. So the d12 is a 10.
Okay, you find a piece of rhodochrosite. It's an opaque light pink gem. And then what is the... That's really a word to spell.
I know how to spell it.
I don't even know if I pronounced that right.
I believe you did. And then the d10 was a 4.
Okay. You find also in this satchel folded up is a set of like royal vestments of a knight that are in like a very fine golden cloth, and you can see there is like symbology on the front that is unfamiliar to you. I need you to also roll me a d100.
The d100 is a 31.
Okay. Hold on. So many tabs.
Yeah.
A 31.
Yes.
You find also a 1-inch square painting of a sleeping elf in this satchel. The vestments specifically are oh my god, where is he? There. Oh my god. There's a crown with like a froggy head underneath it. That's like the symbol on this very fine like cloth of gold vestments. So you can mark down a 25 gold piece art object for the cloth vestments, and you can mark down a 10 gold piece gemstone for the rhodochrosite. And then the 1-inch square painting of a sleeping elf.
Okay. And I do know Sir Talavar did just mention that, you know, there's the Bullywug court in the Downfall. So could be kind of relative frog knight crowd.
Makes
Frog
sense.
court. But I guess we really need to decide in character and out of character. We can't help him right now with getting out of the cage. It seems like anyone that goes to deal with, like, I don't know if we're equipped really to deal with Bevlorna yet. as it seems a lot of people are getting in trouble when they try to seek her out. So we have directions to go to the Watcher, which could give us more info. Otherwise, I can't think of anything else to do except try and get directions to the Summer Court and return him to Titania, but who knows how far away that is. So
Or how?
I want to seek out the Watcher.
Me too.
And maybe we can just I do have an unseen servant. So maybe the unseen servant could like fly up there and sort of help Nova. I almost said Nova. Clover, who can fly, to kind of like nudge the top off, and then we could maybe or we could just like cut the balloon free and then see if we have enough supplies in the repair chest to fix the balloon.
I also want to get the balloon off the tower, actually. I was just thinking about that, and they always cleaned up for me, so I feel like I should clean up for them for once,
So-
you know?
So, I mean, we could just let it fall, or, actually, here's something. This is me thinking. Can the basket fit through the window if we were somehow able to pull the basket up? It's too big.
Nope, too big.
Okay, so I think we'd have to let it fall, but I could give Clover my scissors, and she could just cut the fabric.
I mean, I have weaver's
And the
tools.
rest
I could also. I have fabric cutting stuff.
Okay, so we
Yeah,
could
I
just
was-
cut it. We could just cut it free.
I was thinking about trying to climb onto the roof to help, too.
Yeah, you could give your scissors to the unseen servant or to Stomp.
I was thinking maybe Clover and the unseen servants try taking it off first.
Before
it
cutting.
doesn't?
And if that doesn't work, then we.
If that doesn't work, what kind of, is it rope or string holding the fabric to the basket?
The balloon itself is connected to the basket with like sturdy like hempen rope.
Yeah, it looks
like
like
rope
on
It's easier to probably shred the fabric, like where it's already ripped.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah, just do it as
when I
small
was
as
up there,
possible.
it was like really heavy. There's no way I could do it by myself. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's, it's big. It's like covering the whole top of the tower almost.
Okay.
So if I were to climb out the window, it would still be like 40 feet up?
No, you would be able to get like it up there within about 10 or so feet, but like it's
It's a
basically like
pointy top.
the top is pointed and this like balloon is like draped, and like because the tower is slanted, the basket itself is hanging, and there's like maybe like a foot or two between the basket and that window that everybody climbed out of, but then the balloon itself is draped over almost the entire top of the tower. Like it's almost like
Oh.
just above where the window is.
Yeah.
Mr. Stump, I don't see how I feel like it might be a bit more dangerous for you than a Clover flying out.
I could just
That's what I
jump in
worry
the
about.
basket.
I don't know if it'll hold you. It sounded like it was gonna rip when Ego jumped in. I know we
Yeah, if-
took out the body, but like I'm a little bit worried about.
If I
The
jump in the basket, it might rip it all down.
Yeah, that's
And then
scary.
you'll fall.
Then you'll fall.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm fine.
It might also
He just jumps
The
in the basket till it rips.
Mr. Talabar also said that the repair kit only has enough for small patches, so I think maybe we try to keep the rip as small as we can.
Let me look inside the chest and see exactly what we're working with for repairs.
Okay.
You are able to open the chest, and you can see that within this chest there is a small pot of like tar. It's like I don't know, is that like a pint glass?
Yeah.
And there's like a little brush, and then you can see that there are a few like strips and pieces of like a weather treated like oilcloth almost. It's like got a little bit of a stretch to it, but it seems like it's like water and moisture wicking. Looking at the strips of fabric, you think you would have enough to repair 3 patches that were no more than 2 feet by 2 feet in size.
And there's
Which
at
is
least
6 feet by 6 feet.
and there's at least already a 5-foot rip.
So we'd have to be.
There's like a square one. There's like a long one. There's like they're kind of like different shapes.
We'd have to be careful if we wanted to preserve the balloon fabric at all.
Hello.
Oh,
Are you good?
Oh,
Hello.
hi.
What is it that you're trying to do now?
We're wondering how to get the balloon off the tower, if we should just cut it down, or it seems really heavy to lift.
Oh, are you balloon pilots?
No.
I'm a natural born balloon pilot,
Oh.
actually.
You are a stump.
You do recall that I mentioned there was a malicious wind, yes?
Yeah,
And you said that you are not balloon pilots.
but you said we just need to
Well-
talk to the wind.
Are you? Maybe?
No, I am not. The Honorable Wigglewog was. Alas, she is slain.
I'm sorry. That was in character because the way he said that.
it's the fact that her like Family Guy dead body is. Alas, she is slain.
Yeah, so he did that and then he went, I'm sorry.
Maybe. Let me. Because it's true, we're not pilots.
I wasn't gonna mention it, but cutting it down or letting it rip, it's still going to fall 40 feet. Who knows
Yeah.
if it will even be intact by the time it hits the ground.
I mean,
What if we ask the wind to take it down?
Malicious wind.
Can everybody, except for Mr. Stump, roll me an intelligence check?
I'm probably just as smart as Mr. Stump.
12.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna add my d6 because I want to get it up
I
there.
have a 10 intelligence, okay?
5. You have a 10 intelligence? Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a 6 intelligence.
18.
I should be rolling.
17.
Okay. Ego and Dawn. You rolled high enough to recall that this balloon careened across the sky, starting like several hundred feet up and landed on the tower. Like it wasn't just like at the tower and fell. So wherever this malicious wind was, there was a long flight path that like this balloon went on to get there.
Yeah.
We shouldn't use the balloon.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work anyway, but
You know,
I think
it just sounds so exciting.
I think we should cut it free to get it off of Mr.
Okay.
Elmer's home.
I could do that.
But I
You know-
think maybe
You could ride a balloon if you went to Downfall. They have balloon pilots there.
Mr. Televar, that was very useful information to share.
You said that it would seem thrilling. Well,
It would.
I think that we should take Sir Televar to the Watcher.
Okay,
I agree.
I agree.
seems like our next best step, if going to meet this lady winds up with us looking like that, and like he points a thumb at the
Elmer.
spider dude tied up,
non-sexually.
Well,
not sexually.
because typically to remove, if it is a hag's curse, either the hag themselves needs to reverse it, or you need to have someone else who is more powerful undo it. Sometimes their curses can't be undone.
What if you kill him?
Well,
I
But
think
not-
that's a different problem. But
Okay.
I don't know. They are currently tied up. Mr. Stump,
Yeah.
would you be wanting to stay and watch over your friend and explain that we're very sorry for attacking him, but we're gonna try and fix it?
Yeah, I can stay here. I can let him know what's going on. He looks a little bit grumpy, but I think I can handle it. Honestly, you guys don't even have to stay to take the balloon down. I can handle it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no problem. You killed the brambles, and I have a favor to ask of any time I want to anyway. So, I'll see you again sometime.
Well,
That's true.
because we might still have some things to ask him about if we come by way of the tower again. Mostly how he got that way, though we have approximate idea. And I saw his notes about the O-Wells and it seemed interesting. So if we get a chance to talk with you again.
I mean, if it's just a well problem, I could go sit on it, I guess, and then nothing will come out of the well anymore. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's that kind of problem, unfortunately.
Yeah, Mr. Stump, you know there are like several OLs. Like, there's not just one.
Yeah, but like one generally closer to here than another.
Yeah.
I'll sit on the immediate problem well.
Yeah, the one that's causing issues.
Yeah.
Well,
Should we
Okay.
look at that first? Before the Watcher?
look at the wells.
Yeah, well,
Isn't
Does it say where they are?
Isn't the well part of the problem with the witch lady? If we go solve it,
Yeah.
she might just come mess it up again. So we shouldn't deal with that until we deal with her, right?
And the Watcher knows things, so maybe the Watcher would know how to fix it.
We could possibly run into one of the wells on the way. We have to go northeast.
East.
And it seems like there were ones all around.
At the end of the day, the well problem doesn't seem like our problem, so it should take the backseat to things that we can do to immediately solve our issues.
I just worry. Maybe the Watcher will say, I have this gut feeling something about the OL is maybe empowering our hourglass coven.
Possibly.
I have a feeling if we want what we want, like the power level they're at currently, I don't think we can even touch them. But maybe the Watcher.
Most definitely not. And frankly, I'd like to know more about what exactly their goals are. So, Sir Talavar, are you fit to travel in your cage?
I am always ready for adventure. You know, there was a time quite long ago. If you don't mind taking a seat, I would love to tell you some of my nightly stories. They're quite engaging.
I'm going to create a matrix with my hand while he's talking, and I'm going to create a Tensor's floating disc underneath the cage so that it just lifts up, and Ego's going to make sure everyone is ready to go, but if they are, I will start going down the steps, and the disc will just follow me.
Face to face with a red dragon roaming, and like anybody who talks to him, he starts like, yeah.
Mr. Stump, is there anything else you need if we're going away from here?
Oh no, I'll get my favor one day. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, it was good to meet you.
It was good to meet you too.
Be careful on the roof. Don't fall. Maybe don't do the jumping idea.
I won't do the jumping idea.
Do I believe him? I don't think I believe this man.
Roll an insight check, and Mr. Stump, if you are lying, roll a deception or persuasion. Roll deception, persuasion, whatever fits.
10.
Or
I'm not very good at inciting people. I believe everybody. That was Kristy being like, I don't believe you.
I want to be 100 feet away from this tower and to hear it go.
Did you say a disadvantage or straight?
no, just regular.
Okay, that's a 12.
Yeah.
Are you
minus 2.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You believe him.
I believe him.
He's hanging out with his friend.
Okay.
He's not gonna do that. He said he
Yeah,
wouldn't.
he'll be safe. Totally. Okay, good. I feel better now.
Bye.
Bye.
So
Thank you for your help again, Mr. Stump. and your
Yeah, no problem.
hospitality.
Yeah, of
We're-
course. You're
I hope we can-
welcome anytime.
I hope we can fix your friend.
I hope so too. I'm hoping once I pull this balloon off of here, everything goes back to normal.
It should.
The best stump around, Mr. Stump.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. You guys are the best group of people that I've ran into in the past week.
Everyone's just seeing the Tensor's floating disc with Sir Televar slowly. You know those like chairs for people that go
Yeah.
down their stair? Yeah, so it's just.
They still talk.
and then, unfortunately, I was in a swamp of chocolate sauce.
Oh god, that sounds amazing.
I feel like Stubbs actually was at first annoyed by him, and now is actually listening to him and is kind of like, oh, like I think she's actually
for it, yeah.
interested.
But yeah, you were able to say goodbye to your new friend, Mr. Stump. Mr. Stump. Eventually, Elmer wakes up and is confused and frightened and angry.
I'm not untying him.
You're not untying him?
I don't know how.
Oh.
My roots are all tangled too.
I feel like between you having like roots and like Wover, like, because he does recognize you when this individual wakes up. He does recognize you, and is like, Mr. Stump, I haven't seen you in forever, and you recognize instantly that is the voice of Elmer, and so
You look so different, but I'm so happy to see you.
well, I went to Bavwana to try to see if she would stop making the Owells all polluted because they were making my tower slant, and then she said she could help me so that my slanting tower wouldn't be a problem anymore, and she cut off my thumbs and I turned into this thing and now I can climb around, so the slanting tower doesn't really matter anymore, but I don't really like this. Look at touch my shoulder.
I touch his shoulder.
As you pull back, like sticky webbing like
Oh,
is
no.
stuck from his shoulder to your root.
Oh,
God.
He seems like such a dapper hunter gentleman in the paintings, and he talks like this.
Yeah, and none of you hear this because you are all long.
I know. Oh wait, because he's Elmer Fudd.
He's
Right.
Elmer Fudd.
I was gonna say.
Oh,
How did you guys
forgot.
I rolled my eyes.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I completely forgot. I told that little fairy that I would jump in the basket, so I'll be right back.
What?
Okay.
Oh my god.
Here, Wova.
Like-
He's gonna die off camera.
Wova, bite these ropes off of me. I want to make us some soup. And then
So nice.
Mr. Stump, you are able to.
I'm so sorry I gave him brain damage.
You are able to do whatever you're about to do with this basket. I'm not gonna let that. We're gonna leave that for another time to see what happens.
I did give him a concussion, and then we just let him sleep.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you did.
I'm not a doctor.
Eedle-eedle-lee.
But yeah, the rest of you are able to exit the slanty tower. You do not see Leaves at first, but upon looking around, you realize that Leaves has crawled about 10 feet up the side of the tower, and is just slowly slurping their way up.
Leaves, where are
Amazing.
you going?
Leaves just like wiggles their antennas at you and like looks down.
Buddy, where are you going? Come back. I'm just gonna reach on the ground and grab some leaves. I have leaves!
Leaves
Right.
turns around slowly and begins heading down at like 10 feet
I
per second.
was going to say, like all beings that crawl the earth, they look for their own personal heavens, but it would seem perhaps maybe they were hungry.
I don't know what the heck they thought was they were gonna eat on the side of a tower.
Can we just leave him? He's gonna slow us down by a lot.
Maybe. I just don't want to leave the poor guy. He's defenseless. Look at him.
Who cares?
Look at his stupid little
it's a
face.
snail.
Look at the helpless, stupid little face. It's so cute. You just want to leave him to fend for himself?
Yes. I absolutely do want to leave him to fend for himself.
I look to the others.
if you remember, he'll like turn. He like takes a step forward and turns around like dramatically towards the rest of the group. We are here because we got things stolen from us. Do we really have time to mess with that? Slowly make his way down.
I like to think that Don stays pointing at it and doesn't put the hand down because
Yeah, that's exactly what he does.
Wonderful. So okay then. Ego's like, if we are to get back what was taken from us, we probably need to be willing to make sacrifices.
Is it a sacrifice? You know what? As long as
He does live here.
I've just realized that the image of a snail, a giant snail descending from above.
And it's like a slanting tower.
It's really menacing. That's like a really menacing sight. It's like this giant.
Yeah, he's like 10 feet tall. Like from his little slimy body up to the top of his shell.
He's just so...
Leave's heart is pure. It wants nothing else other than to eat. If we take it on this journey, it is perilous and we could be placing him in danger.
Hey. Right. I will let him go. First thing I ever tamed properly.
If we go fast enough, he may still be here when we get back.
You're probably right.
We hear the basket. We get 100 feet away. We hear the basket fall, and then we hear a shell crunch.
No! No!
I'm so sorry.
Oh God!
Universe.
Because nobody told me about the snail. Oh jeez.
She wanted to give him a little kiss when he got to the ground on his head.
Uh-huh. And
after that, I don't know.
Do you just walk away? You just like leave the area with him behind?
I'm gonna leave him a pile of leaves.
Oh.
And I'm gonna give him a kiss and say,
Ew.
always remember you. Give him a kiss on his gross, sticky eye sock.
The eye stalk like retracts fully like in. And then like comes back out.
I see how it is.
And he slurps like his whole like body just kind of like glomps onto this pile of leaves and is like slowly like pulling it in.
Right. Just forget about me. Enjoy your leaves. I'll never forget you.
He turns his little face and his little feelers towards you and then back to the leaves.
I've just dropped the image in my head of a very menacing male. In the art chat.
Oh my
That's what he looks like. He's descending! Anyways. Alright. I leave him. I don't look back.
Well, with that, I am going to have us go to break. Before we go, big thank you to Jamie for joining us as the wonderful Mr. Stump.
We love you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crush the snail.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
And with that, we will be on break. We'll be back in like 5 to 10 minutes.
All right, BRB, bam.
welcome back.
Hello. We can jump right back in as the party has decided to abandon their giant snail leaves, engaging in just pure animal abuse, neglect, abandonment.
Stab me!
We will get right back into it. You find yourselves once again wading through the muck. The water levels have remained low throughout your time in the tower, but you feel as this mud like sucks against your boots. Once again, if you are walking uncomfortably, you are back in the muck with little bugs buzzing around your ears. Humidity is just the humidity like percentage in the air is so high you could practically like cut the air with a knife. And you are waiting amongst the mangrove trees. Let me look
Think about
Northeast.
right?
Yeah, so I think we all start thinking about northeast. At least Clover does.
I do too. Let me look at something real quick. Oops, wrong thing.
Oops.
How's everybody doing hit point wise?
Full.
Almost
Four
full. I still, well, it's probably been more than an hour since everything happened, right?
Yes, but you've been doing things, so you have not short rested.
No, I'm talking about my temp hit points.
Oh,
for
yeah.
armor bag.
Yeah.
So that's gone.
Once you start walking into, like, once you spend a little bit of time walking, like, yeah, it has been.
Okay.
4 off of max for done.
And
And then do you guys still have spell slots?
Nope.
I have
How
one.
how y'all doing on spell slots?
Nada.
Let's see.
I have 2 left.
Okay. I need somebody to roll me a d8.
Graph's going for it. Yeah, I realized I should have said I will ritual cast the disc under Talavar, but I did not, so
I do my mage armor at will, though.
Okay.
6.
Oh, it lasts for 8 hours. I don't need to. I'm fine. Still up.
Okay. You said you rolled a 6?
Yep.
Okay. You all think of Northeast and you progress through the swamp for what feels like half hour or an hour or so. And eventually you find yourselves walking through an area where the grasses grow a bit taller around you. How are you all like proceeding right now? I'm gonna assume that Clover is probably flying. Is everybody else walking? Is anybody on the disc with Sir Talavar?
I'm probably walking because I'm the biggest person here, so I feel like it's...
Okay, because so within this time period, the water levels do rise again. So like after about an hour, you are in there's 5 feet of water.
Yeah.
I'm definitely on the disc or on Dawn's shoulders. I'm 3 feet tall.
I'll walk because Dun's tall enough to be above the water.
You go. How you getting around?
yeah, I was gonna.
The snail was the one that kept you dry before.
See?
You swimming?
I really don't want to, but I guess there really isn't any other option, huh?
Splash, I'd be taking a bath.
So you can't sit on your own tensor's disc, can you?
No, it moves by nature of me moving.
Yeah, so.
You can get on my shoulders. Just part of you will be underwater, but...
There you go.
Well, my shoulders I don't think would be underwater. Would they?
Your shoulders aren't.
Your shoulders would be above
Right.
water if you're about
my
like what
shoulders would
6
be
feet tall.
above water. Yeah, so if you sit on my shoulders, you'll be mostly out of it.
Are you okay with that?
Whatever gets us to move faster.
Okay. I would just think that normally carrying someone on your shoulders through water would make you slower, but you are very strong. You're very strong.
I am faster.
You're very strong.
I am faster than all of you, and I'm definitely faster than that snail.
Who's carrying Sir Talavar? He is in a cage that's about 1.5 feet tall.
Well, let's see. Well, how high does the disc go off the ground?
3
The
feet.
disc is 3 feet off the ground, so yeah, he would be underwater still.
I'll hold him above my head.
Yeah, you can stand on the disc and then hold it. You can stand on it instead of sitting, and then you'll be like pretty much out of the water.
I'll want to keep him out of the water, so I'll just, if I can balance the bottom of the cage on my head, I'll do that. And just like hold it up.
Otherwise he will drown actually because he can't get up out of the water.
Even me, I'm like,
Clover would have carried him,
here up.
but you guys probably see her struggling to even fly herself.
Yeah.
If she tried to offer, I'd go, no.
Who knew? This was maybe not the campaign to be a bunch of shorty McShortersons.
At least in this fog.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's get the heck out of this bog.
Sir Talavar will thank you for carrying him and will tell you, this might even rival the times I was in the swamps outside of the River Styx. This is not a good place to be at all, but thank you very much for carrying my cage. When you free me from this cage and I am able to teleport myself back to the Summer Court, I will make sure that Titania, her eminence, knows of your exploits.
I'll take it. Now, what is this? What's a river Styx? Like a river's full of sticks?
There are sticks in the River Styx, yes.
Ego's,
ask him about it.
Since Ego's riding kind of on Don's back, so I can be very close to Don's ear, and I will say quietly, my mother used to say that those that talk a lot sometimes are doing it to fill the fact that they don't think as much.
This is gonna be really mean, but you say that, and like he gets a floating image of Dub above his head, and he nods slowly.
She's just like, yeah. I mean, you're right. She's intelligent.
The two of you holding the cage, and you're just.
Are you, so for every hour of travel, are you going to then ritually recast Tensor's floating disc?
Do you think that I can ritually cast while riding on Don's shoulders?
If you stop. If the movement stops, you can do it. If you're moving, it's too much jostling for you to, like, have your components... Like, the drop of mercury that you need for that it's not something that you want to be, like, jostling around.
Yeah. If I think it would be better because otherwise, the travel for the next 50 minutes is going to be very annoying. I would ask if we can stop for 10 minutes while I redo the spell.
Yeah, still faster than the snail.
Look, we don't need to stab my heart. It's a wound. On.
I'm having a lot of fun stabbing you right now, actually.
My dear, part of being a knight is having to face grave losses for the sake of your regent. But to be able to power on through all of the toil and trouble that your heart faces makes it stronger.
But I'm not a knight, I'm an animal tamer. And I just let my first animal go.
But sometimes when you love something, you do have to let it go. And if you are an animal tamer, that already brings you a step closer to becoming a knight. All knights ought to have a steed. And so if you tame animals, you can tame a steed and become a knight.
It was my steed!
Well, you can tame another one, surely.
We can tame a faster snail, maybe.
You hear a little bit of rustling in the grass up ahead.
Mr. Steed.
You're my steed right now, my dear. Isn't that kind of funny? I'm in this cage, and we're just sort of like a saddle riding you. One time, I actually found myself on the back of...
Shush.
What?
I want to...
What was that?
I'm gonna look at what the heck that rustling.
You peer out into this mist-veiled field of tall swamp grass that's dotted with clusters of cattails. The air around you is still and stagnant, much like these waters. And the vegetation once again rustles ahead of you, foreshadowing the arrival of 6 humanoid creatures holding stilt-like pieces of wood in their hands and with stilt-like pieces of wood on their feet. They actually glide through the water quite quickly and easily as they move, and their bodies remain fully above the water, not hampered or reduced in speed in any way. I will put a picture of what you see. These individuals are covered in furs and leathers, very basic clothing, and they each have a little cage strapped to their back with various mismatched eggs set inside. And they are wearing these mesh masks that seem to keep bugs out of their faces. And you, actually, the type of people that these are seems familiar to the type of person you saw in the paintings in the tower, with red skin and sort of snubbed faces. A couple of them have big beards and bushy sideburns, and they walk past. They take vague note of you and just begin to walk past you. You see one of them stops by a tree, and from their elevated spot, is able to let go of one of their stilts and reach up and grab an egg that's sitting in a nest in a tree branch, puts it into the basket on the back of another.
I knew we should have taken those stilts.
They begin to walk away.
Oh.
Should we say something? I don't know if they're friendly.
They definitely.
Excuse me.
They stop.
How do you make such a contraption?
One of them, they all kind of look amongst themselves, look down at their stilts. A female hobgoblin walks forward a bit. You can see she has her hair in 4 long braids that hang down from her back, and she regards you with wood.
Oh, so that. Can I ask, what kind of eggs are those?
Why do you ask?
Curiosity, I love animals.
Redoing my spell.
Reptiles, birds, whatever we can find. The Sagi court likes to eat eggs, so we trade with them.
The Asagi court?
The bullywugs of the Sagi court. They eat eggs.
Oh.
Are we close to there?
No.
Okay.
Why?
We're trying to find the Watcher.
She looks back at her companions. That way.
Northeast.
Is that the way we've been going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. As long as we're not off course, that's good.
Downfall's that way, and points much more west, northwest from where you are.
Okay, so we're doing this, and the
they're going-
downfall's like that.
Yeah, downfall's that way.
Okay, that's good to know.
Before she leaves, I'm just gonna go, how much for an egg?
How much for an egg?
I've just lost a dear creature of mine. I'd love a new one.
What do you offer?
What do you have? That's what I want to know.
Where did I get glitter thread from?
I think that was from the carnival.
I think that's like one of. Hold on, let me look at your sheet and
Or
see.
it might have been one of your trinkets from your
I think it's one of your trinkets.
Oh,
background.
I'm gonna keep.
Let me look at
Oh,
your sheet because I don't know.
I picked up 2 leather armors from the herring gods. Does anyone else need leather armor in the group?
I also have a leather armor that I'm not wearing. I don't wear armor.
Okay.
I actually, as the kind of wizard I am, I can wear light armor.
Oh.
But I think I found one because it says that I have leather. So
I think we all found some, if I remember correctly.
So if it's
you took like 6 sets of leather armor.
Yeah.
So I think I'm taken care of. Actually, sorry.
I'm gonna show her the leather armor and be like, fresh leather armor?
We don't fight.
Well, maybe you could sell it to someone who does?
You did say that you traded with the bullywug folk. Do they fight? Could they use it?
Probably.
You'd have more diversity in your wares. One little egg, or one whole set of leather armor.
Are you new around here? She begins to take her basket down and is looking at like the eggs that are in it, looking through to try to find one that she wants to offer. Well,
give me one that you don't know what it is.
I asked you a question.
Am I new? Oh, it wasn't obvious. Probably, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all new.
This one. You look like shit. That's why.
I like her.
You'd be right.
I feel like shit too.
I also don't feel good.
She hands you
My hat being weighed down by water and like.
She hands you an egg that is kind of like grayish white, and it has like little brown speckles all over it. It's about like fist sized, like a child's fist, so like a little bigger than a chicken egg, and more round.
Okay. Thank you. I hand over the leather armor.
The shell, as you touch it, is like has like a little bit of a. It's not hard like a chicken egg. It's like a little bit more papery and like soft. And she'll take the leather armor.
I'm gonna really gently put it in my bedroll, the egg, like in a little nest of like bedroll, and I'll sling it over my side. Thank you. And your name?
You may call me Guza.
Guza. Any tips for us newcomers, Guza?
You should probably get cleaned up at the end of the road. If you try to get cleaned up at Downfall, they're really just going to dunk you into more swamp water, and then you'll look even shittier than you already do. The frogs are nice enough, but they live a very different lifestyle from other folk around here.
Well, that's good to know. I don't mind getting dirty, at least. And that inn, is it northeast?
Do you want rest?
Yeah.
I look at my companions.
Probably,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, and a bath.
Then go towards that.
Okay. Does she point any sort of direction?
No.
Oh, goodness. I'll just seem to know where to go all the time.
Go towards what you most want. If you most want a bath, bed, rest, warm food, then go towards that. Is it really? Am I not explaining? And she begins to say something. She actually switches from Sylvan to like a much more like guttural language. Do any of you speak Goblin?
I do.
Yeah, so you hear her say in Goblin, like, am I explaining this wrong, or are they just idiots? Do they just not understand that you just think about, you feel where you want to go, and then it takes you? And they're like, no, you're explaining it perfectly right. They just, like, don't get it. And then she'll turn back and switch. Yeah, I don't know how to be more specific. You just go towards what you're thinking about.
It's all good. See, this is a true tip we have not received before, so thank you for that. Material plane things don't work so much like this, so appreciate it. Good tip. You gave me 2 for 1.
And you said thank you, which means that you know that you're owed something.
Yeah. Look, I'm new here and I didn't think about that.
Okay. Alright. Lucky for you, we don't fight. But you should be careful about using those words.
I will
Thank
I
you.
will cross them off my list.
I
Don't make tea.
and I will say in Goblin, and you should be careful to be impolite when you don't know what words others understand.
It says, I don't care if you understand.
Yeah, she seems like the type. She's just
Yeah, that
That's
tracks.
Well, I'm just talking about in like the laws of politeness. But if they don't care, then they don't care.
She doesn't strike you as someone who'd care about politeness.
I care about politeness. I want her carnally.
Yeah.
Do you have anything of value? What do they call them? Can somebody remind me of and she says like a word in Goblin, that like you mean that the direct translation that you are aware of ego is like a fascination. And she says like does anybody have and then in Goblin the word for fascination, like what, and she's asking like what is that word, and so one of them speaks up and says trinket. Trinket.
Oh.
A little something special, something different. Something that might not seem useful to you.
Oh, here. Don reaches in his pocket and he pulls out, let's see, which one of his trinkets, because he has a few. I'm keeping that one. So he'll pull out a giant fake nose.
Is this the nose that you got at the carnival as a prize?
Yeah.
Okay, that's technically that one's not a trinket. That's a magic item.
I have
God. It's the same
out of
thing.
character. I have
You can give it to them if you want.
Yeah. He doesn't want it.
I have a sheet of music that goblins find upsetting.
I don't know if you should give them that.
Out of character.
I also love that item.
They take like this like red nose and like they sniff it. One of them licks it. It looks like an egg, but it's not.
No.
I
It's like a...
She puts it up to her ear. Shh. Stop splashing around. This'll do. And puts it she like puts it into the cage on the back of her like shoulders.
Asked Dawn.
Huh?
I asked Dawn quietly, was that?
Oh, the mic cut you off.
I asked Dawn quietly if that was an important thing.
No, it's a carnival toy. Why would it... I don't care about toys. I'm an adult man.
Okay.
The character I'm not gonna give my...
You're not gonna give what?
I'm not gonna give my trinket.
Okay. Well, luckily Dawn did pay for you. And after they'll like stand there and just stare at you for like a solid minute. If you don't say anything.
I would ask if there's healers if we were to go to the inn.
Why?
I'm in a lot of pain. I got hurt pretty badly.
Sometimes there are healers. People pass through there. Different people every time. Mostly. A few are fixtures.
Okay.
Why did you want the trinket?
Why do you want gold? Wherever
Oh.
you're from. It's currency.
Hey. You just gave her money and didn't get anything back.
In fact, we gave you now 2 pieces of advice. One, which you thanked us for.
Yeah, you thank them for information, so they're like you. So that means you owe us something if you're thanking us. That's why.
And now we've told you about this form of currency. Will you
We
say
won't
thank you
ask-
for that?
Anything more of you?
It was wise of you not to thank me for it.
See, I told you that you should just take things from people. But no, this thing is wrong.
They turn and they, unless you say or do anything else, just head in near silence, aside from the occasional rustle of grass, through the mists and vanish into the distance.
I like that lady.
You would.
She was down to earth.
Actually quite high up from it. Which is how we should be. If we could make one of those.
Maybe
Or many of those.
Maybe we start thinking about the inn instead of the Watcher first.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm
You're
getting
not
kinda
doing
tired.
too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
Alright.
fine tomorrow. I think I just need to sleep. Sleep it off.
Sound good, everyone? In?
In.
And
Ego?
Something wrong, Ego?
I've never been to an inn.
What do you mean?
I mean what I say and I say what I mean. I've never been to an inn.
Let me rephrase. How?
I live at home.
Oh. Turd. That's right. I've been to an inn. Well, this will be an experience. I don't know what.
maybe you just think about a bed. If you don't know what
Yeah,
an
think
inn
about
is,
bed, a hearth,
somewhere to rest.
people, alcohol. Yeah.
I'll think about a bed
Bed.
and being dry because this dampness is. I can feel myself sinking into an ever deeper well of despair.
Oh.
Oh well.
And wells are also wet.
We're not gonna think. Well, we're definitely gonna think about
Dry. Dry's a
a
good thought.
warm bed. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. So, you continue along through the muck, thinking of bed, of rest, of a dry place. Sir Talavar eventually, inevitably, begins to chatter on. But eventually, through the branches and trunks of the mangrove trees, Siri, do not fuck with me right now. You see movement. Let me pull up a picture because I love this one. You see movement and quickly you hear sloshing of the sound of like dozens of steps through the water and muck, as if like a small army is marching ahead of you. But you see wood and stone and a worn shingled roof. Bink, bink, bink.
We made it. I think.
We hear the many footsteps of things, but see the inn.
You hear what sounds like a small like battalion, like sloshing through like water and muck, but you can see like a stone wall.
Oh.
And then you look up in the branches and you see like a faded blue shingled roof, and it passes. Maybe about 100 feet ahead of you. It just is. It's like crossing.
Can I fly?
Like behind the wall.
Behind like a variety of like trees and tall grasses.
Can I fly up and see if I can get a view on the noises?
Yes. Do you get closer or just go up?
I'll go up first.
Okay. So as you fly up, you clear the branches of the mangroves and look down at the spot, and you see a like blue slanted roof, with those like little like windows that kind of, you know, in The Sims when you can put the window that comes out the dormer, like dormer windows, 2 on each side, and a mismatched, uneven chimney peeking out of this roof with cheery little puffs of smoke coming out of it. You basically are just seeing the roof right now as it slowly moves through the swamps below, weaving in and out of trees. You can see like the shingles are faded and have like little bits of moss and like branches and twigs attached to them. But you can see a moving roof.
So the building is moving.
Mm-hmm.
I only know one building that moves. Is that a character? I only know one building that moves, and it's a Baba Yaga house. So I'm like, huh? I don't like that.
Go down and let them know that the building's moving. But it's over there. Should we get closer?
Well, if we're looking for an inn, and you go with what you're looking for, and we see a moving building,
We should go closer.
we should probably check it out at least.
Okay. Yeah,
Just
we go
be
towards
careful.
Okay, you approach?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh. Okay. As you move through the swamp, you do have to actually hustle, because this thing is moving pretty quickly. But eventually you see that it begins to slow down. And ahead of you, you see a squat 3-story structure with a slate shingled roof in that like bluish, like stony shade, and worm-eaten wood walls. There are dozens of tiny orbs of pale light that buzz around the exterior of this building like flies. And as you begin to get closer, you catch the smell of hearty stew wafting from open windows and see smoke rising in those cottony puffs from that stone chimney. But at eye height, you see legs. Dozens of fleshy legs that are each about 10 feet tall.
What?
Walking in a chaotic pattern and carrying the building through the swamp almost as if it's like a millipede.
It's inside.
Oh, I hate this.
And the legs slow down as they stomp through this 5-foot deep water. A few of them kick out and shake themselves dry, the toes wiggling on the end, and then the knees of the legs begin to bend, and the inn settles itself into the muck. You can see the door to the inn, which is 10 feet up from the ground, so 5 feet up from the water. A little like stone staircase like folds out underneath the door and slams into the water and the muck beneath, leading right up to the door.
I will go up to the door and knock on it.
Yeah, I'll follow. Bob.
You knock.
I knock.
The door opens a little bit. You smell rich stew and fragrant tea, and you feel like a dry warmth. Although the swamp has been humid and hot, there's like the drying fire. Like you get hit with a feeling of like a burning fire that could like dry your socks.
I will push the door open. Is there anyone inside?
You see a long hallway with a door on the left and a door on the right. There seems to be some sort of signage on each door, as well as a staircase at the end of the hallway that leads up.
I look behind me. Are my friends following me?
Following.
How's it look?
There's 2 doors and a stairway at the back of the hall. I'll look at the signage on the doors, see what they say. I'll pop in. Step in.
Yeah, so the door on the right, you see says check-in. The door on the left says common room.
I guess we go right for the chicken. That seems appropriate.
You all enter?
Yeah.
Yes.
I knock on this door too before I open it.
Does Ego enter? Ego's very quiet right now.
I mean, Ego's quite uncomfortable, I feel, but would not want to be left out, especially because I don't have anywhere else to go. So, is following. She's just observing, kind of taking in rather than putting out.
They're just at the back, being like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You enter and
Never entered someone else's home before, minus that tower.
Oh.
you enter underneath into this door underneath a sign that says the inn at the end of the road. And the hallway before you is lit with warm, golden glowing candlelight from little sconces on the walls. You knock on the door that says check-in and it creaks open a little bit. And the smell of like stew and like cooking food, fresh bread cooked with honey is like very strong in here.
Oh.
Do you enter?
I do.
Okay.
Very safe.
Yeah.
Looking around.
So you push open this door and you can see that you're in a space that's about 10 foot square with a like a counter that emerges from the wall to your left, goes forward, and then runs across in front of you and meets the other wall. So you're like in a little square space. There is a little like metal bell on the counter, but you can see further in the back of this room is a massive kitchen that is just absolute chaos. There is a one of those like massive like deep hearths that stands like basically 10 feet tall and just has a massive roaring fire in the middle of it with like multiple levels of like shelving inside with pots and like little pans and dishes cooking inside of it, as well as like little open burning flames off to the side where things are being cooked. There's ample counter space, but everything is covered in dried herbs and flour and just dust and like raw dough. There are herbs hanging dried across like the eaves of this room that come down, and you see stirring like a massive like stock pot, like basically like a cauldron with a big wooden spoon, appears to be an individual in like mismatched earthen colored clothes with long, wild, curly gray hair behind her. And as the door creaks open as you all pass in, you kind of see this individual's head turn slightly, and they say, "Now, Donald, I know you're not coming back here into my kitchen again to ask when supper will be ready after I told you it was cooking. You never heard the saying, a watched pot never boils? Well, that's doubly true in here, so go back to your seat, and I'll have your dinner for you in a minute, okay?" And she then goes back to, like, stirring this big pot.
My name's not Donald.
And this individual like jumps like up into the air and turns and like whips the spoon out of the stew, which goes like splattering across the floor, and like holds it out. And she's standing like 20 feet away from you, but she looks at all of you quickly and oh, I am so sorry, dears. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Newcomers, welcome to the inn at the end of the road. My name's Sue Hairbacks. I'm the innkeeper here. Y'all looking to stay?
That
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
lovely.
Come on in,
yeah.
come on in. Come on up to the counter.
Temporarily.
All right. That's great. Just a minute. And she puts she lays this big ladle like over her pot and wipes her hands on like this apron that she has, and she like quickly totters over to you. She's covered in like wooden bead jewelry that like clinks and clanks as she walks. And she like will rest her hands on the counter and like looks down at you all with this like big smile and like warm brown eyes. All right. How can I help you?
Hi, we're looking for a place to maybe get cleaned up and a place to rest for the night.
Right. Sorry, hold on. Where did my tab go? I have 1 billion tabs. Previous. Where is it? Feature. Uno momento.
You good?
There it is. Okay. Boop. Right. Okay, so you just said that you're looking for like a place to stay.
Yeah, a place to rest and a place to get cleaned up is what Clover said.
Oh yeah, I can do that for you, honey. I got beds, I got hot meals, I got my famous plum pie for any of my guests. And it's free to stay. You just give me an old trinket and we'll be good to go.
Oh, really? That's lovely.
Yeah, here, let me get your towels and your sheets ready. Does anyone need extra blankets? I knitted a few last night.
Oh, I would love to try one.
Yeah, you look like you want extra blankets. Hold on, dear. And she goes over to like there's a door that's like on the other side of this counter off to the side and like opens it, and this like linen closet just explodes with blankets and pillows of like mismatched like yarns and materials, and they all fall out like onto her. Oh god. Oh, all right.
Do you need help?
I got it, honey. I got it. All right, you get back in there, and you go in there, and blanket. No, you. And she like pulls a blanket and like almost falls over and like slams into the counter. Oh. All right. Stop acting up. Back in your places. And like the doors like shudder a little bit, and then all of the blankets like fly back up, fold themselves, and fall into the cabinet. Just because things are a little haywire right now doesn't mean you can be acting up when we have guests. And she'll turn back and passes blankets over to all of you. Let me get you your keys. Do you all want your own rooms? Or are you staying together? However, whatever configuration you want to do, I don't judge. Just let me know how many rooms you need and how many beds.
4 beds. I don't think we care about individual. Do you guys want your own rooms?
I've never had my own room, so.
You'll get your own room then, honey.
Okay, yeah, maybe 4
seem
rooms.
Yeah, y'all. You okay? You're a little flustered. You came to stay at my inn. You don't even kind of.
We're new
don't know
here.
what you want. I can tell.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Bless your
can.
heart. And she.
I'm gonna pull out a silver fork with twines bent sideways because that's one of my trinkets.
Would this work?
Ooh, that is lovely. That'll do. Here's your key, honey.
Thank
You get
you.
your own room.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet.
So what brings you to, for lack of a better term, this shithole?
We're trying to find the Watcher. We have some questions we want to ask.
Oh, the Watcher's lovely. You'll have a fine time. All knowing and all that. Couldn't be me. Half the time I can't even find where I left my spoon. Speaking of, keep going. I'm listening. And she like toddles around her kitchen for a while looking for the spoon. Looks back at her cauldron.
Yeah, I pointed at the cauldron.
Thank you, honey. I almost had it. Thank you. And begins stirring. I'm still listening. You just looking for the Watcher? That's all? Good for you. Good luck.
I'm also looking for a healer.
Oh, you need a healer? I might be able to help you with that.
Really?
I know a little bit of nature magic, not a lot, but just enough to, clean up.
Yeah, she got mauled earlier, so.
Yeah, I got stabbed.
Oh my god, by what? You got mauled?
Yeah.
Was it Mismatch? Did Mismatch do that to you?
No, it was the demon dog.
Oh, demon dog.
Was it a demon?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. It was a weird cursed dog.
I think Malorna cursed it.
Lorna. Oh, Bavlorna. Oh, that
Bavlorna.
bitch. You know, that makes sense. That really does. I wouldn't put it past her. I don't know why I'm surprised. You say you had got attacked by a demon dog. I never heard of that before. Of course it was Bavlorna.
It doesn't
Of
sound
course.
like she carries a very high reputation.
She sure doesn't. Trying to do whatever she did to Zybilna. You know, things were great before they came in here and messed everything up. My aunt was a talk of Prismere, and now I'm just stuck here in this swamp wandering back and forth. I can't pick up my regulars. We're just here. My inn is very stressed, and it keeps tangling all of the bedding. Sometimes the stew even burns, and that is not normal.
Oh,
Bavlorna, you better watch out for them little... You see a little frog that kind of looks like a person? Better watch out.
The bullywog?
No. Another kind of frog-looking person. Smaller. Like a little... Like a small child kind of size. Like, they're maybe like a foot tall. Little green things. You see them. They're real fast. You watch out. She can peel off pieces of herself and make more.
That
I literally saw one of those in the carnival.
Wait, you did?
Carnival?
Yes. I'll tell you about it in a second, lady. 1 second. That literally, like I saw one, a great little thing, running around somebody super fast, and I don't remember it very well, but I remember that, and I'm like, I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know what it was for like. It feels like months, maybe a year.
Wait.
I haven't known what that thing was.
Maybe
Now I know what it is.
because I don't know if Clover would say this in character, but out of character, Witch and Light did a deal with the Hourglass Coven.
That's what we believe, yeah.
So Bavlorna might have sent...
Bavlorna, yeah.
Bavlorna might have sent pieces of herself to the carnival. Because, like, you said she takes them off her skin?
She can make them from herself.
She can make them from herself, yeah.
Okay. Gross. I hate it.
We have business with Bavlorna.
Good luck with that. Slack-jawed Lorna is not a pleasant individual. She doesn't really like me doing business. She's very lazy. She does not like helping other people. As you may have found out from being in this God's Forsaken swamp.
Why is she making everything terrible?
Well, I don't know. And I'm not gonna ask.
Fair.
Just seem to not take kindly to people questioning her.
Listen, all I know is that Zybilna hasn't come around for some time, and since then, I can't get around. These mists came up, and there's this swamp. This used to be a lovely little river delta, and there were all these little wells with lovely water and stone, and people would trade, and they would meet, and they would chat. And then now it's a swamp. Zybilna's not coming around. Bavlorna's just hanging out in Downfall. Being a bitch.
Bitch.
And you said
Who's a bitch?
the
The
what?
witch.
Yes, and the witch.
Witch bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That, her.
Yeah. The rest of y'all got your trinkets ready?
Oh, God. I just gave away one of those things.
Yeah, well, you do well to try to acquire a couple more. That's kind of like payment around here.
How do you acquire them?
Oh, you just find them. You trade for them.
Would it be, is it out of character? Is it a trinket per person or a trinket per room?
Trinket per person.
Okay.
We just got those trinkets from that satchel.
I did get a trinket from the satchel. I'm going to... If Don is like looking like he's struggling to find something, is Don looking like he's struggling to find something?
I mean, I have other things I can give away, but I don't want to give them away.
I will put the pair of green leprechaun boots tied together by their laces.
Nice.
But I want to present them as it is a pair, and so therefore it is two.
Oh, well, isn't that just the sweetest little thing you ever did see? Honey, I get what you're trying to do here, and I will let it slide, because I'm nice. But just so you know, I never met a one-footed leprechaun.
I met two of them.
Every leprechaun has at least 2 feet, sometimes 4.
Sometimes 4.
Anybody else who's not me probably wouldn't let this fly. But I will.
Sometimes
I'll let it
leprechauns have unfortunate accidents.
They can regrow their limbs. Why do you think they keep all that gold? Every time they get attacked, they just use a gold piece to regrow a limb.
Of course.
Obviously.
1 gold piece?
One more.
Give my glitter thread.
Oh, I could use this in a blanket. This is so lovely. Thank you, dear. All right. And she'll pull out a key for you, Dove. Oh, wait, what did you say?
I said, I know it is. She's like, it's so lovely. And Dove's just like angrily whispering to herself that she knows this.
She'll pull out keys for everybody who wants them. Right. Now, there you go. Since you tried to offer me 1 trinket for the price of 2, I'm guessing you don't know the rules? Do you want to know the rules? I even made a sweet little rhyme. I'll help you remember.
Sure. I like rhymes.
Okay. Here's the rules rhyme. Number 1. Offer a stranger who enters your home a safe haven and a cheery hello. Hello!
Hi.
Hello.
Number 2. To take something that doesn't belong is really and truly a grievous wrong.
I look at Don.
I didn't take anything.
No, but it's what I said.
And 3. A gift given is a gift earned. When one is offered, give one in return. And those are the rules.
That makes sense.
Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was when you welcome someone to your home, give a hearty hello.
I will put it into the lore dumps for you so that you have it saved. Offer a stranger who enters your home a safe haven and a cheery hello. Then to take something that doesn't belong is really and truly a grievous wrong. And then a gift given is a gift earned. When one is offered, give one in return. Oh, thank you for the raid, 20 sides.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see that till just now. I don't know how.
No.
Whoa, hello, oh my god. And waffles maple syrup. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you
Wow.
for your gifts.
Yeah.
Thank you for your gifts.
Thanks.
We'll offer you some in return
Yeah, we offer
for
you some
entertainment.
things.
For the rules.
Also, if you use the coupon code bonus, you get 15% off your order at Little Dragon. There's a gift for you.
There you go.
Ooh,
There's your
the
gift. There's your gift. There you enjoy that raid.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Question, DM. To take something that doesn't belong is really and truly a grievous wrong. To take something that doesn't belong, is that really stealing? Or is that like to take something that doesn't belong somewhere, like to take it out of the place it doesn't belong? I know this is very word interpretive, but
Well,
I don't think that you can.
you can ask for clarification from in character.
Ego interprets it as taking something that doesn't belong, parentheses, to you. But doesn't necessarily mean that. But that's what Ego was raised on with her mother.
Yeah. If you want to ask Sue for clarification, you can. But however you interpret it is your interpretation.
True.
I'm gonna ask her for her version of it, even though probably Ego's right. Especially considering her.
Yeah, so basically, the rules here, Zybilna has put in place a rule of hospitality, a rule of ownership, and a rule of reciprocity. So basically, the rhyme is so cute, but I guess it's like a little bit hard to understand if you're not used to how there's like rules of society that like it's not just society, you'll actually could suffer if you break them. Basically, when a friend or an enemy or a stranger enters your home, you got to be gracious and accommodating to them until they prove that they don't deserve it. And same, you're not really supposed to steal from a friend or an enemy or a stranger. And if you take something that doesn't belong to you without the rightful owner's permission, that is a crime, like an unforgivable breach of etiquette. Or at least it was when Zybilna was here. Now it's kind of, some of these rules are a little wonky. And then reciprocity, just, if a friend, enemy, or stranger offers you a gift, you are obliged to accept it and offer something of comparable value in return. Doesn't have to be an item. You could offer to help them out with something. You could give them an IOU. Be careful with that one. Doesn't have to happen immediately either, as long as it just happens. If it doesn't, well, great cosmic forces, something or other. I've never broken them, so I don't know really what happens, but...
Thank you. Noted.
Be careful about that word.
Ah! I did it again!
Yeah, you keep doing that.
You are so polite. You are so polite. And it is okay to say thank you, but you should be careful. Because when you thank somebody or express explicit appreciation like that, then whatever they gave you becomes more valuable, meaning the thing you have to give in return is then of equal value.
Y'all need to muzzle me or something. I can't say that.
I know that she said she would allow it, but I do feel bad for trying to swindle slightly. And also, because technically I guess we have to pay for Sir Talavar, I will also give the painting of the sleeping elf.
Oh, that is so lovely. It's so tiny. I wonder if this belonged to a pixie. Oh, thank you, dearie. Good on you. Zybilna would appreciate you for sticking to the rules. I'll let this one slide,
your
though.
thanks.
You do, yeah. Gotcha. There you go.
Even.
We are even, yes. Well,
I'm gonna playfully slap Ego on the leg and be like, really good. Hey.
well,
Why don't you strike me?
Oh, that's right. You didn't understand the high five either. Ego, when I slap you like that, that just is like, if it's playful, it's like the wrist. So you hold the wrist, that's how you know. Also, I didn't slap you with intent to harm. Yeah, limp. Yeah, there you go. You just playfully slap each other. Just do that with me.
Ego has discovered.
She leans over to Dawn and is like, "Oh, that's just so cute. Oh, look at that. What's going on there? What is that? Are they friends?"
I guess so. It seems like everyone here is getting all buddy-buddy.
Oh, good for them, good for them. Has anyone ever told you that you are just about the most handsome satyr they ever did see? Oh, let me get you a bowl of soup. You look hungry. Hold on, honey. I'll give you the first taste. And she will grab there's a stack of bowls that are all leaning if you don't stack bowls perfectly centered, they'll she grabs one and it almost falls over and she's like, "Nope. Back in your place." And takes this bowl, runs over to the big cauldron of stew and ladles some out into a bowl. She goes over to the oven and just reaches in barehanded and pulls out a fresh loaf of bread that is still steaming, and just rips a chunk of it off and puts it on the side of the stew. And she like opens up a drawer in the counter and just starts digging and like throwing out like silverware, like forks and knives all behind her until she's like, got it, and pulls out like the nicest spoon that she has, puts it in the bowl. Here you go, honey. Now this stew's pretty famous, so let me know if you like it.
I will.
Come on, you gonna taste it?
Yeah. Okay.
She's like watching you expectantly.
Yeah, he goes to say thanks and then he stops.
You could say you're looking forward to eating, or yeah, that's a little bit of it's a way to kind of thank somebody without thanking them.
In Japanese, itadakimasu.
Yeah. And he will take a bite of it. He completely oblivious. I will 100% say that. When she was like, did someone tell you you're the prettiest satyr they ever did see? He was 100% about to go, my mom said it sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So as you like take a spoonful of the stew, it's for like the briefest moment, it's like when you bite into a pizza that's way too hot and it's like lava in your mouth, but then instantly the feeling fades and it's exactly the right temperature. And as you bite into it, like it's this like very like warm, hearty, like meaty flavor with like veggies that are just exactly the right tenderness to them. And for a moment, you have the feeling of eating the favorite food of yours that growing up as a child that like your parents made, that like every time they would make this food for you, it was like the thing that you would look forward to most. It may not have been like gourmet cooking, but it was your favorite, and you just have like a feeling like you're eating that again, whatever that dish may be.
Yeah, his eyebrow raises, and he kind of, this is really good.
I know, thank you, honey. Oh, I said it. Oh, you got me acting so polite. Look what you did. Oh my god, you're gonna make me blush. Oh, did y'all need anything else? You want to dry your socks? There's a big fire on the other end. You just go to the common room. You can go up to your rooms upstairs. You'll know the door. They'll appear. You need anything?
Is there a bath?
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
want a bath, you just go upstairs. You go to your room. You'll know which one it is.
Okay.
And then when you're in there, just think about going to the bath. And you'll know which door inside of your room takes you there.
Okay.
You'll just know. If the water's like a little too hot or too cold or it gets too steamy in there, you just tell the inn to please behave.
Okay.
Oh.
Good advice. I will do that. I will go
All right.
upstairs.
Dinner's gonna be coming out. Well, hold on. Dinner's gonna be coming out in like a little while. You'll have enough time to get a bath if you want, but it's gonna be coming out probably right after that. Served in the common room. I'll give you 3 square meals a day and all the plum pie that you could ever want. It's just ready when it is. You'll smell it when it's time. Served in the common room. If you want to eat in your room, I mean, you can, but it's a little lonely.
That is a little lonely.
I
Wait.
normally don't eat in my room
Not?
because it promotes an unhealthy living style.
That's very smart, honey. It's always better to share food with other people. That's when it tastes the best.
I
And you,
agree.
she points to you, Dove. You caught yourself. Good job.
I need to like put a muzzle on myself. I'm gonna like I'm gonna walk out into the hallway and like give her a wave and be like, "Thank you not for dinner." I'm gonna walk
Got
out.
it real close there. Ego and Dawn, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
You're each holding like a fluffy pillow, a knitted blanket, and a key.
Go to me room. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I feel like Don would do He can't thank her for the meal. But he'll nod, because that's a way to say, I appreciate it, without outright stating it.
You come back if you want more, honey.
I definitely will. Until then, I will probably get clean, because I've been wading through water all day.
Okay, you let me know if you need any extra soap or towels or anything. I'll come bring Red up to you. You don't even gotta leave your bath.
Oh, he definitely will. I say as I walk away.
He doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it at all. Ego, what are you doing?
Ego kind of is like doing the I'm holding the pillow and the blanket and I'm shuffling back and forth. I'm seeing all of my friends leave. I think Ego actually would peek into the common room and see how many people are in there.
Okay, you may do so. So as you open the door that is labeled common room, you peek your little head in, and you can see that at the far opposite end of the room there is another large fireplace with a roaring fire, and there's two large overstuffed mismatched armchairs in front of it, as well as a variety of tables and chairs. None of them match. They're all different woods, different cloth, different materials, different styles. Most of them very worn, but not in a dingy way, in a very comfortable way. And as you peek in, you see three individuals. You can see at the table nearest to you what appears to be there's talking on Sirenscape right now. You see an individual who appears to be gnomish. They're only 2 feet tall, with little pointed ears and hair in a variety of little pigtails all over their head. In very basic leathers and furs and earthen colored clothes. And she has her hands on her head and is just asleep on the table, snoring softly. You can see at another table, or sitting in one of the armchairs that is actually the one that's kind of tilted and facing the door, you see what appears to be an older half-elven gentleman who is clean-shaven and completely bald. He is wearing an impeccable all-black suit, and he has a large knit blanket pulled over his lap and on the ground all around him. And as you open the door, he turns and looks at you and just grins a too large grin and just is almost craning
Ew.
When you're in a restaurant and a little kid in the Applebee's stands up in the booth and looks at you and is just
No, that's scary.
and is just staring at you. And yeah, and then at a table in actually directly across from this door, to the left of the fireplace from your perspective, you see an individual who, standing, you would assume is at least 8 feet tall, with a covered in white and gray feathers. He is wearing a nautical ship captain's hat, and he has a very big plump body, and has is holding a book in his hands and is reading, and has a wooden pipe coming out of a massive 4 or 5 foot long yellow bill with a massive pinkish throat pouch underneath, and is just holding this book out and is
It's like a pelican.
He's a pelican, and he's just wearing a naval captain's jacket and a captain's hat, and is puffing on this pipe and is reading a book and doesn't look up when you enter.
Okay. I think Ego feels more comfortable about being in this room, even with Smiling Man, rather than being in a bedroom alone.
He doesn't blink.
Okay.
He just stares.
I know that he's in like one of the armchairs right by the fire, but I do know I was beaming for the other armchair, so I guess I'm gonna go actually towards the smiling elf. I'm gonna like be going over to one of the other. Is he gonna follow me as I walk?
Yeah.
Okay.
He like does
I'm
not
gonna-
stop watching you, and he's not trying to hide it.
I'm gonna go to the other chair, and I'm gonna like put my like stuff down. I reach into my bag because I have a little pouch of sand. I don't think I ever described this before, but I'm gonna press to digitate the water out of my clothes. So I reach and I have a little pouch of sand, and I kind of, feel it in my hands, and then as I say a few magic words, I toss the sand up. The sand kind of disintegrates, and all of the water and stuff from my clothes dries. And then I'm gonna like get into the big chair. I'm gonna do what I do in my big armchair, which is get in the armchair but sit in it cross-legged, and then put my blanket on around me, and then put my mother's book in my lap, and I'm going to read.
This what's your like passive insight?
My passive insight is 12.
Okay. Yeah, you occasionally like you get that feeling like when you know somebody's staring at you, and like you just feel that in the back of your mind as you're like reading your book, as this individual just is like staring at you full on. Really quick, let me just put a pin in that because I don't. Yeah. As we take the rest of the party, you're all going upstairs to your rooms. So as you ascend the stairs that creak softly beneath your feet, you turn to your right and find yourself in a long hallway that's also similarly lit with warm candlelight. And you see a variety of doors on the left and right and at the end of the hallway. As you proceed through, Clover, you look to your left and you notice a door, like there's a little wooden like plaque on it. All of a sudden, the name Clover appears on it.
I go in. Oh, I knock on the door, and then
You knock on the door. Yep. And the same for Dove and Dawn. As you proceed through this hallway, eventually, as you're looking at these doors, trying to find which one is yours, your name appears on the placard on different doors in the hallway.
Fancy.
And you're all able to go in. Each of you.
And Waterdeep.
Each of you finds a worn yet comfortably appointed room before you. There is a mattress, just like twin-sized on a very simple wooden bed, but it is plush and like overflowing with worn, tattered quilts and pillows. There is a night table to the side with a pitcher of fresh water and a few glasses, as well as a tiny stove in the opposite corner that also has like a little teapot and a basket off to the side of that with a small selection of tea bags and fresh herbs. You can see that there is also a small armchair that is next to the window in each of your rooms that looks out onto the swamp. And there's a small like area rug that's kind of like that like braided like hempen material beneath that for a sitting room.
Ritzy. Ritzy for death.
Wow.
I'm gonna pull out from my supplies of tent and stuff. I'm gonna pull out like the little picture frame of my mama, put it on the bedside table, and then start thinking of the bedroom or the room with the bath, and turn around and hope that a door appears.
Yeah, you think that, and on one of the walls that was basically just had like a window and like some picture frames of like idyllic like cottage side actually the picture frames are scenery that each of your characters finds to be the most like tranquil. So that could be countryside, that could be like a specific kind of building or architecture, but whatever kind of like scenery or like landscape scenes would make your character feel comforted. But there, in between all the picture frames, which move as this door appears, is another like simple wooden door that says bath.
Cool. I'm gonna go do that.
I think I'm gonna.
Okay,
try
you
and
open it up
soak
and you
with my
realize that
pain.
this is on the same wall as the window that looks out.
Oh.
You open the door and you find yourself in a small tiled room. At the far end, you can see a claw-footed tub that is like perfect white porcelain with like a little spout for hot and cold water on the end. And there are like little towels and linens that are set up here, as well as a wash basin and a toilet.
Okay.
But it's there, and you can see that there's like little bottles on some shelves up at the top of like bath oils. There's even like candles and incense if you wanted to burn them, like little herbs and
Probably a good
flowers that
idea.
you can put in the bath.
Yeah. I think the main reason is she wants to check her injury. Like, she wants to see if there's like a mirror she could like see
A
how
mirror
bad it
appears on
is.
the wall if you want it.
Yeah. She wants to check it out and see how bad it is.
Yeah, so as you undress and like look at this like massive bite wound that's across your torso, like there are still like there's like puckered skin where like you have been healed for your hit points, but like
Yeah.
there are still these like puncture wounds that then quickly close over with healing magic, and it's just like a black bruise that like rings the entire side of your torso. And there's no like entry point anymore because your flesh has healed.
Yeah.
But like you can feel that like one of your ribs might still be a little cracked.
Yeah.
And like even though your external like body parts are fine, you still get out of breath very easily, and like it's when you can't get like a full breath, that's the kind of thing that makes people extremely anxious, like just physiologically, like your panic for survival comes in.
It's
and
like the claustrophobic
yeah.
feeling that you can't outdo because it's like your lungs, it's not even a space, it's your body. So
yeah,
I think seeing like the full picture, like she could feel it, but she couldn't see it. I think seeing it probably makes it worse. So she's like wills the mirror away and just gets into the tub and is like, oh no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the tub, the nice thing about the tub is it's like very deep, so like you can be like fully submerged.
Oh, it's a Japanese tub, goes up to like my neck.
It's like, well, yeah, but I think of it as like the claw-footed ones.
Oh, okay,
like,
nice.
Yeah, and like when you go to like get in, it like tilts over for you a little bit so that you can like step in.
Oh,
yeah,
cute!
Because I don't know if you've ever stepped in a claw-footed tub. That shit is hard to get in and out of.
Yeah, it's easy to fall. So I think she's being extra careful.
It will fill with water for you and let you relax.
Hell yeah, that's what I do.
For Dawn and for Dove, what do the both of you do?
I feel like he also wants to take a bath, but he doesn't want to take a bath immediately. He finally has time to himself. So honestly, I feel like what he does is he wonders if he can like will up a place to like write or something.
Ooh. Yeah, as you like think of that, the little like table, because you also have like a little like side table with a little chair that's by the window. That table will actually like extend out and become a desk.
Yeah.
And the chair like writes itself and becomes like a desk chair. Like a little candelabra appears on it with like 3 candles that are lit. An inkwell and a piece of paper and a quill appear, and parchment.
So what I imagine he does is that he sits down and he goes to de-stress by pretending he's writing a very, very angry letter to his boss.
Oh my god.
Like what he does when he has a really bad work week is that he writes a letter of all of the things that he wants to say to his boss, like he's about to resign, but that he doesn't ever actually send it. So he just sits down and he does that. But I imagine over time it sort of becomes a lot more lyrical. Like he starts putting together bars and verses. So he has like this song/poem written, and then he just kind of folds it up and sticks it into his suit pocket and like puts it on the back of his chair, and then we'll go to the bathroom to clean up.
Yeah. So yeah, as you enter the bath, you can totally do that and put it away. You do. as you like put it into your suit jacket pocket, because that's like one of your only pockets, you do see your little like dandelion puff that you got at the beginning of the carnival, that is like bent, and most of the puffs are missing, but it slides in there with it. And you can also enter the bathroom and draw yourself a bath if you would like. What's your emotional state right now?
Very.
Are you irritated?
Yeah. He's
he's
a little less irritated than he was earlier because of the nice, like, meal and finally having a place to stay that isn't. But, like, being here in general is sort of, like, irking his nerves because he didn't sign up for all of this.
Yeah, so you get in the bath, and like you put on the water to a temperature that's comfortable to you, and it just like keeps getting hotter.
Ooh.
And eventually you start to feel like like a frog in a boiling pot.
Okay. Behave. Or whatever.
The taps like squeak at you a little bit, and then cold water begins to pour out to cool it down. There is like on a little shelf up there, you can see that there is like a bottle of like dandelion infused oil that falls over and spills into your tub, and your bathwater becomes like yellow, like this golden color, and like little yellow dandelion flowers are like floating all throughout it. Like when people do those Instagram rose baths, except it's just dandelions, like yellow.
What's with the dandelions? He just closes his eyes and he just thinks about how bad he wants a face mask right now.
You literally feel another bottle like falls and hits you on the head.
Ow.
But it's like bobbing in the water there for you, and if you want to put on whatever's inside of this bottle, you can.
Sure.
It's very cooling. It's like an aloe gel kind of like cooling mask.
My tub assaulting me.
Well, it's assaulting you in a vaguely helpful way. Dove, you enter your room and see a similar appointment to your companions.
I feel like Dove is gonna. I don't think Dove has ever like used or at least she doesn't remember ever having used a bath before. So, like a nice one. I feel like she's just gonna be like. She's gonna like picture taking for her baths or like bath in a river or like outdoor shower situation. Mm-hmm. She's just gonna picture that. She's gonna be like, I need to get clean, please. It's just gonna turn around and see if there's like her version of a shower there.
Yeah, so a door appears on the wall, and when you like open it, like this door that says bath, you actually see like I feel like you are basically like entering into like a tiny onsen, like it's like but it's like one of the individual ones where it's just like a stone, like a very natural, like but very small like pool in the ground, and there's just like rock, and like you can't quite like see sky, but there are like tree branches like hovering and basically making this little grotto. So you can't tell if you're like indoors or outdoors, but there is like a small like table like for you to kneel at that has been like various like little bottles and jars of like ointments and creams have been like set out, and they're like very plain. It's not like fancy glasswork. They're just like little like bamboo pots or like ceramic like bottles, and like small towels that have been set aside on like a little tray. And there's also like off to one side, you can see that there is like this metal mesh basket that's filled with these stones that are like kind of glowing a little bit red, and there is like this long piece of wood with like a cup on the end of it. Ooh. And like there's like little wooden benches around it.
She doesn't know what anything is, but she's gonna walk over to the like soaps and stuff. She's gonna like smell them and be like, fancy. She's just gonna like dump all of them on her body, not appropriately. Like conditioner is now body wash is conditioner. she's gonna like be like, fancy people smell, and like put it all over her body, and then she's just gonna like investigate. She's just gonna be like dripping with that, and she's gonna investigate the stones. Like,
also,
like-
I will just say, I know Victoria knows that at an onsen you don't get clean; you get clean beforehand. However, this is a magical bathroom, and it's not the same thing. So nobody come at me in the comments somewhere saying that I've done something culturally incorrect, because this is different.
Also, even if it's all there,
She
Jess
would
never
show up
used
to
the
it. She would show up to an onsen and use soap.
She's gonna be the person at an onsen that's never taken a bath ever, and no one's there to be like, honey, this is how you do it. And so she's gonna walk over to the stones and be like, if she realizes they're hot, she's like, wait. She's gonna like primal savagery 2 little nails and like pick it up and be like, what do you do with this?
Like burn. If you pick it up, even with the nails, like it still is like burning hot.
Ow! And she's just gonna, I think she's just gonna like toss it into the water.
It plunks into the water and a cloud of steam appears. And you can see like the little stick with the cup on the end, like slaps you in the leg.
Ow!
Like it rattles over and just slaps you.
Oh, I get it now. She's gonna pick up the stick and she's gonna pick up more stones and she's gonna throw them into the pool. And be like, woo! Like,
Every time you pick up a stone, it's not easy to do. You throw it in the water. The stick with the cup on the end smacks you.
ow! Is this some kind of bathing ritual? I don't understand.
It pulls
I'm
you
over
towards
you.
the water.
Oh. Okay, I was doing that anyways. I'm gonna like, she's gonna just literally jump in the water and leave the stick on the side. She's so confused. I think she's just gonna get wet. She's gonna like relax for a second and be like, oh, hot water. And then she's gonna wash all the soap off and step out and shake herself like a dog until she gets dry. And then she's gonna walk back into her room.
Okay, yeah, you can totally do that. When all of you like come out from the bath, if you undressed like in the bedroom area, when you come out, your clothes are clean and neatly folded at the foot of your bed. If you took them in there with you, they're still dirty. Ego. Is there anything that you want to do before we wrap? This individual's just like literally sitting there staring at you as you read this book. Or you can just fully read.
I mean,
You
I
can smell,
realize
the smoke from the fire, as well as like that little hint of tobacco on the air in this like, and the fire is like almost too hot as you sit there.
I will immediately say I don't think that this is anything I want to do because we are so close to ending. I think Ego is definitely just trying to get comfortable. I think I know the answer to this. None of y'all took Sir Televar to their room, did you? So I have him, don't I?
Yep. I'm not taking that fish anywhere.
Alright, so I do have Sir Televar set down next to me by the hearth.
He's this entire time he's been telling you stories of his nightly exploits.
Yeah. So I think all I'll leave with, and Ego will interact possibly with an NPC next time, but just, how do I explain it? Like, I have a blanket, a pillow, a big armchair. I'm in front of a hearth. There's people talking. There's food. It smells nice. It's warm. So it's, someone's telling me a story. I'm reading my book. So it's one of those things where it's like your body is like wrapped up in all of the comfort. So your body feels very comfortable, but like your mind then is able to process like just actually how bad things have been. So while my body is like incredibly relaxed, I am very, very sad. But it's weird because it's like it's safety and comfort wrapped up with sadness, homesickness, loneliness. Like there's a lot of things, and I think that's why they're not talking right now, and so they're just trying to process that. But yeah, they'll do something next time.
Okay.
With that feeling.
Well, as you kind of like feel the crushing weight of how dire your situation is in this comfortable inn, we will call an end to tonight's session. So thank you, everybody's watching. Thank you for the raids from Waffle, Maple Syrup, and 20 Sides to Every Story. We appreciate you deeply. Thank you so much for joining us. We love having friends around. Also, don't forget to check out Carbon Castle Games and Little Dragon Corp. Please join our Discord and hang out with us. Oh my gosh, please subscribe to our YouTube. We're literally so close to hitting a major milestone, and it would mean a lot if you guys just followed us there. That'd be really cool. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is really neat.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any other announcements?
I love you guys. GG.
GG. Thank you to my players.
Thank you.
Let's see. The next time you are cruelly abandoning an innocent giant snail in the swamps, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus.
Leave leaves alone!
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Man, fuck leaves.
Love you, bye!
Bye.
Love you, bye.